With 8:11 remaining in the third, a second power play goal tonight for Sidney Crosby.
Why are they stupid? You, under no circumstances can you fix basketball games. Under no circumstances. I love to gamble. The notion, like, Rozier makes $26 million. Him betting, giving people information or taking himself out of games, how much is he gonna benefit taking himself out the game to get unders? Like, he's making $26 million. The notion he gave, how much of these guys he gave a head up, he took himself out of games on prop bets. How much money is he gonna make?
Well, if he did that, you're proving my point.
What do you mean?
That means
that's
that
not
it's
addiction.
a logical thought process. No. If you're making $26 million to try to win 50,000, like, that's illogical. So that you're proving my point.
No, that's not addiction. That's stupidity.
The same reason someone goes and uses drugs when they're in the NBA.
Hey, drugs are addiction.
So there's no gambling addiction?
No, yeah, they are gambling addiction. But the notion that you're trying to make sure these guys being addicted, you can't fix basketball games. You cannot fix. Like I say, this is separate from Chauncey, but the notion that guys are making all this money and giving information, it's come on, man, stop that. Ain't got nothing to do with addiction. That's just total stupidity on these two dudes' part.
Well, I got to tell you, man, that was just part of the night as we say good morning to everybody getting up with us. Great to have you. And, man, we got a lot of stuff. Terry Rozier, Chauncey Billups, Damon Jones, who, by the way, if you forgot, spent a year with the Miami Heat. Good friends with LeBron. It's so funny. I remember Damon Jones. One of the things was he's really good friends with LeBron James. So that came out about him giving out information on LeBron. And I was like, yeah, not surprised. Not surprised, man. The illegal sports betting. By the way, the friggin' mafia. I got to tell you this, and we got a lot of sports stuff to get to. So I love all the mafia stuff. I love the history of the mafia and the five families of New York. And I thought that stuff, thought it was all blown up. Everybody was in prison and their kids are in prison. And it was like, and they're talking about these same names of these families that have been involved in some of the illegal poker games taking place. And I was like, my God, I guess it didn't go. I literally was watching documentaries. Hell, last night I was watching a Philadelphia Mafia documentary. Just a little brain dead here before the game started up last night. But, yeah, man, prop bets, remove yourself from games. That's what Terry Rozier, one of the things he's been accused of. And, by the way, somebody ratted him out, gave him the games, I'm guessing, told him the games where he took himself out on those over-unders on numbers, that those prop bets, and a little bit too much money. Woody, as we've talked about over and over, came in for a prop bet, and the red alert went off, and you were like, something's not right here. Not going to beat that system, man. I hope it's a wake-up call. Whether you just heard Charles Barkley and Kenny Smith talking about addiction or stupidity.
Well, I hope it's an isolated incident too, right? I don't know how much this stuff goes on, Joe.
Well,
that's the problem, right? Because now you start
Woody,
to question everything.
Woody, I agree that if it's those guys, by the way, we're talking about a guy that's a head coach in Portland. Forget Terry Rozier, who's sitting at the end of the bench.
Yeah, so Billups, it looks like overlapped into both things. But that poker game thing, talk about made for a movie. I was hearing about stuff I never heard of before.
Yeah, but all we need now is a guy that couldn't pay his poker debt and getting whacked out in the backyard or something. And we got the whole thing.
Well, they got cameras in the glasses and and a guy relaying information. The quarterback, like, they got a lot of cool stuff.
I will just tell you, man.
Story.
Yeah. So Chauncey Billups, who, speaking of what the F are you doing? You made $107 million a player, and you're a head coach for an NBA team. Like, a lot of guys are waiting to become head coaches, getting one chance to be a head coach for an NBA team, even if it is Portland.
This is greed at its finest.
Oh,
right?
My God, I don't know.
This is, we never have enough.
I don't know if somebody can pull the addiction. And listen, to be fair, if you think that's a cop-out, The old guy gets busted and says he has a sex addiction.
Yeah. I don't think this has anything to do. I think Barkley's right on. I don't think this has anything to do with addiction.
Well,
fixing games is not like I need action. I need to steal.
But there is people. That's why they put that little thing at the bottom after they tell you, hey, come get our specials we're running this week. And they're going, by the way, if you have an addiction problem, please call 1-800-ADDICTION and take care of it today.
I don't know if you saw this clip yesterday, but they started breaking the story on ESPN and they started talking about it. And they had their little ESPN bet thing on the bottom, the bet $5, get $100 thing. And there is a clip of them.
$20 is free.
Yeah, well, there's a clip of them yesterday, and it's Greeny talking, and all of a sudden they kind of just got rid of it on the bottom. They kind of zoomed that in a little bit and got rid of that thing on the bottom.
They're all in bed. NFL owners own half the friggin' gambling sites.
But I don't think this has anything to do with the availability of legal gambling. I think it has nothing to do with that. That's a cop-out too, man. You know, there's a lot of things that people are addicted to that are readily available, Joe.
I will tell you, just talking last night to people, at home, and they don't know. It's just, it's a big story. It's on TV, so now my wife sees it on normal stuff.
Yeah, this crosses over, right? It's a crossover story.
She wanted to know. She goes, "Oh man," and I go, "Yeah." I said, "The guy Terry Rozier, he didn't play any opener, and he sucked last year. He wasn't very good. They didn't play him very much. He's been bad actually." Since he got here, he got injured and he's been terrible, but guy's made $160 million in his career. She went, what? And then, the thing is, you made $160 million. What are you doing? What are you doing? I go, and then, everybody went right to Chauncey Billups, who it went before the big bucks. Hell, he made over $100 million as, by the way, a great player, very clutch player, great player with Detroit and all the things he did. I didn't even look up Damon Jones, who looks like he was giving information to everybody's brother that
sure all these guys have done quite well for themselves, Joe.
So anyway, that was one story coming out. We've got last night, you just heard the highlights. Sid the Kid, who's no longer a kid, by the way, 38 years old, but he's still damn good. Sidney Crosby, a couple of goals and assists last night. Panthers lose 5-3. They got a tough couple of games coming up here over the next few days here, because they've got the Golden Knights coming to town, who are really good from Las Vegas right now. And, of course, the Heat back in action tonight in Memphis. That's going to be a strange one. What do you think they got asked, by the way? What do you think Spo got asked? What do you think Spo and the boys got asked at the game here? What do you think when they go to shoot around this morning and all the media are showing up going, hey, did you guys have any idea?
I don't think they'll even get to ask those questions, Joe.
Why?
I'm guessing they will put that fire out and they will say none of those questions at all.
Yeah. What, are we leaving? We're done?
No, the PR guys, I'm guessing, right, will say no go.
Well, they're going to
listen, right, because everyone wants their access.
Yeah.
No one wants to get those credentials pulled,
but anyway, that's where they are, because I want to know, hey, did you know about Terry Rozier before the game, or was he just so bad?
No chance.
So
you don't think they knew, right?
No.
Yeah.
It's going to be asked.
Who's going to have the basketball?
By the way,
that question?
I was kind of curious to see if Terry Rozier was going to play in the game. I knew he's going to play a lot of guys. I was like, is he going to give Rozier another chance, or is he going to go there? And he went different direction.
Yeah, well, if we knew we could.
Terry was down at the end of the bench. He wasn't going to get a shot. He wasn't going to get an assist, a rebound, a turnover. He wasn't going to get a chance to throw a pass over the top and hit somebody in the 20th row. He wasn't getting any shot at all. But yeah, from
what it sounded like from Rozier's attorney, it sounded like they got caught by surprise.
Well,
because he was pissed that they turned it into a circus, arresting him at the team hotel, and was like, we should have just given him an opportunity to surrender. You didn't have to, do that. But
I saw what he could be looking at, and he's got some pretty serious stuff from indicted charges of wire fraud conspiracy and money laundering conspiracy. Each count carries no more than 20 years.
They may need to call you to produce this movie, man. All this stuff. You were hitting me with the crime families yesterday. Oh, you knew all this
crime
stuff.
Family's been around forever, man. They don't necessarily like each other. I don't know, like all they're throwing their names in it. And I'm like,
oh, really?
Oh, yeah.
They're all rivals, right?
Well, Yeah, I don't think they do.
I never
business
think
together,
that stuff
but
still exists too. Like
I
that's
know
so
that's
weird
what I'm
to
saying.
me, man.
That's
like
what I've been telling
I'm
you.
thinking like Goodfellas and like
Yeah, that's in the
I don't know.
70s and
I know,
80s.
I
All those
know.
shows. The end of that, you thought kind of when all the mobster bosses started being real showy and were out there wearing $5,000 suits, and the old mob family's going, hey man, that's not what we do. We keep our business really private. We are not seen in the public. And the new guys are like, hey man, I'm showy. Look at my babe. We're going to a nice dinner. Hell, we own the restaurant. Anyway, we've got all that stuff going on, and we've got a couple of football games getting ready. Canes tomorrow night. Stanford probably in town right now. Matter of fact, Stanford will be in town to take on the Canes. Dolphins hit the road tomorrow for Atlanta. I have no idea what to expect. All the right things have been said the last couple of days, and we're going to fix this and we're going to do that. And I looked at him and he looked at me, and to make sure we're still all in on this thing, and I'm going to play hard for you and you're going to play hard for me. And now it just comes down to let's see. And by the way, more than just that, because I do believe the guys play hard. I don't think that's the problem. But Tua's got to take care of the ball. Tua's got to find Waddle. We got to get that going. And on top of all that,
how do we go about doing that?
The run
Joe?
defense has to be better, as in no long runs. I mean, a guy chips you for 6, 7, 8 yards, that's going to happen. But the long runs that seem to happen every game have got to get cleaned up.
Did we overblow those comments? Those two I can't see comments?
What do you mean? What do you ask him? What do you ask?
Well,
him?
I'm asking, did we blow that up too much?
No.
That stuff was kind of, you just said, how do we get Waddle the ball? It's like, well,
first of all, once again, I hope somebody said, hey man, can you do me a favor? Even if it's true and you get ready to throw to somebody and your tackle gets pushed back in your throwing lane, why don't you not make that comment? That's just, now some of the writers tried to defend it yesterday.
I saw that. Yeah.
And tried to say that he has said this before for people that are in the business like Joe Rose that haven't heard it. Apparently I didn't hear it before. I don't remember any of my quarterbacks ever saying it. Now,
I don't remember him saying I was too short to see over the offensive line. I feel like it would have been a bigger deal, but
yeah, man, I got to tell you, Tua just keeps on giving. I just hope he can go, hey man, this team and that coaching staff and the 9,000 guys that have coordinator back on the back of their titles, hey man, you better get Lefty going. Better get him going in this game. And he seemed cool and relaxed and calm this week. And I got to play better and don't worry about it and all that stuff. So we'll see. Hey, Atlanta's up and down, man. They look like world beaters against Buffalo Bills, and the 49ers got everybody hurt and lose. And then they lose by 30 to somebody else beat them by 30 in there.
I'm guessing one thing they're going to do is try to get that stud running back involved.
Oh, my God. Yeah. Oh, no, you're right. The game plan, by the way, and I do know that Anthony Weaver knows this because everybody is going, we're going to try to run it 40 times. We will try to run it 40 times between our two running backs, Algier and Robinson. We will try to get those guys as many carries as possible, mix in a little play action there, a little rollout, and see if we can't do what everybody else has been doing to the Miami Dolphins. We got to go to break here on a Friday morning, man. Nothing can mess up your Friday. By the way, if you like entertainment, for the NBA games, are they all going to be in the 130s and 140s now? Is that what it's last night? If you like scoring, Golden State and Denver and OKC and the Pacers put on a friggin' show, including a couple of 50 spots were put up last night early in the season.
How's Jimmy looking out there?
He's good.
Oh.
Looks good.
You going to get back to the war? I know you used to like the Warriors pre-Jimmy.
Dude, are you going to bust my balls again this morning? You just come right in and got to
Jimmy
bust my
stuff
balls.
is funny.
First segment, he's just hey, it's time to tell you about Truck Month. It's your South Florida Chevy dealers. I got to tell you, man, if you're looking for a brand new truck or a used truck, man, South Florida Chevy dealers, love to see you this weekend. We've got 14 dealerships throughout South Florida, and I promise you this, we got great deals, and we got a truck that's absolutely perfect for you, and I might add, a durable truck, like Durable Colorado with a standard Turbo Max engine and impressive torque, to the Silverado 1500, always ready, steady, and strong. Boy, it's got everything you could ever want. Everything, including workday workhorse and the weekend warrior stuff that's so good. I'm talking about a truck that's ready to work for you, like a Silverado HD. Again, man, it offers big payload numbers, legendary horsepower, and one of the hardest working beds in the business. Bottom line is this: whether it's a midsize, full-size, or heavy-duty truck, we got a truck that's absolutely perfect for your lifestyle, 5, 6, even 7 days a week. Hey, man, we understand there's a lot of people out there that make a living out of that truck. That's how you make a living, and we got a truck that's absolutely perfect and durable for you. See your South Florida Chevy dealers today or this weekend for outstanding offers going on right now.
Iconic Music Festival. Tortuga returns to Fort Lauderdale Beach next April with Post Malone, Riley Green, Kenny Chesney, and way more. We're giving you a chance to win 3-day passes for you and a friend. To enter, go to the contest page at WQAM.com and register now. One more for you here, Joe, while we're at it. Rock and Roll Hall of Fame members Rush just announced their 50-something tour, and we've got a chance for you and a guest to win a flyaway to see them at Madison Square Garden in New York City. Prize includes tickets to the show, round-trip airfare, and a 2-night hotel stay. To enter, that is also WQAM.com. That is a national contest.
All right. A lot of stuff going on here, Woody. A lot of stuff. By the way, yesterday is one of the busiest days, and this is a great time, especially as I said yesterday. If you got 5 professional sports teams, it's a great time. The Messi extension through 2028, and by the way, Miami Freedom Park, I guess, will be ready to go. We'll have to get that new statue out there, but tomorrow night, actually tonight, is it tonight they open, right? Friday night they open up.
Tonight, 8 o'clock. Tonight.
3 versus 6 against Nashville, best of 3. And so the Messi thing, so Mess is going to play, what he extended, a couple years or something, so he's going to be around, and you knew the Moss family is going to keep him around for the open of the Miami Freedom Park.
Yeah, I'm guessing they'll extend him as long as he's willing to play, right?
As long as he's got a little something left. Like, hey, man, even if it's 12 goals in a regular season.
I like that you're on board with the whole Messi thing. You used to fight it a little bit, but now it's like, just get on the field, just run around a little bit. People just want to see you.
Well,
it's like MJ out there, right? Just want to see him.
One of the great stories in sports right now is all these guys in their late 30s playing well. It's really amazing. Marchand is maybe the best player on the Panthers right now. Sidney Crosby's 38. He snuck up on you. Ovechkin's 40, and he's still scoring goals like crazy.
That one stung. Sid the kid's like, almost my age, but
yeah, how about that?
I thought he was like 20.
No.
Steph Curry dropped 42, almost had a triple-double, 40-something points last night. He's in his late 30s.
Steph Curry's late 30s. I think he's 37, 38 now, and he, by the way, just went off late in that game. That is, you talk about a clutch late game, and I mean, he's knocking down threes from downtown. He was downtown San Francisco last night hitting some of those threes he hit.
How about we got guys running around in their 40s, though, too? That's even crazier.
And then we just had a matchup, and it ended up being a great one with Flacco and Rodgers.
Yeah, the icy hot ball, yeah.
Then on top of it, you got Messi, who, we keep saying downside of his career, and I'm thinking, well, he may be on the downside of his career, but he's the best player in that league at 38 years old.
Yeah, I mean, if he was playing in one of those top-tier leagues, maybe it'd be different, but
he's still playing in a professional league, and there's a few guys that are over here that are pretty good players, and he's scoring 2 and 3 goals, and not, it's just
Apple probably very pleased with that extension, I'm guessing, as well.
Yes, and Adidas, Apple, you probably can name one of the American Express gold or silver or black card or one of them that's expensive.
Adidas has gotten me for a handful of Messi products.
Hey,
he is so popular, by the way, for being an older guy. He is so popular with the kids.
Yeah,
kids
I got my grandsons have the pink number 10.
Yeah, they love him.
My grandkids, that's Bodie especially, loves himself. This kid he's got a few jerseys, but that Messi number 10 is a big one. No question about it. So yes, he is selling jerseys, and Adidas does not want to lose Messi. Hey, you stay as long as you want, Mess. And by the way, look what he's done for the value of that franchise. Name anything else that's got that value playing at Fort Lauderdale in a redone stadium for the Moss fam. Great job, by the way, getting that thing up so quickly. And the value of that thing like doubled. There's only one thing, nothing against all the other guys, his Barcelona brothers that are on the team, but I think they're all retiring after this year.
We'll have to find new Barcelona brothers to.
Well, he gets some more. You're right. We get some more guys on the downside of that career. Can you come over? And it's been great for business. I still don't understand, and I'm not hating on it, but for all the leagues that try to be fair and everybody plays under the same financial format, better known as some form of a salary cap in most sports, that one, he makes by himself. There are teams that don't have a payroll not even close to what he makes.
Probably had to call the Clippers owner. figure out how to.
I don't know.
There's like a tree company or something he can promote. And
I
give
don't
him
know.
some extra.
That filed bankruptcy and the whole thing, and I didn't do it. And I don't need to.
I'm guessing the MLS commissioner was just like, you guys do what you got to do.
Well, he was good for every time he did play on the road. They got record crowds every time.
Hey, man, look, in fairness, they haven't won anything yet either. So
no, this sport happens.
That's the crazy part of it, right?
So to the point, too, with Messi, not to spend a lot of time with everything going on Messi today, but this is a very unique situation. Listen, would it add on to see the team get the exposure and some other guys play well to help the future? But this thing is heavily, heavily Messi driven. And I'm putting it nicely with a double heavily because he is so good, so popular around the world. And maybe I saw yesterday, I'm not sure which one of the owners called him the greatest player to ever play, which a lot of people agree. I mean, he's won everything. Now he's won that World Cup, so he didn't have to hear about that in Argentina anymore. The team went out and won that. He's special. So yeah, they're going to keep him around. He'll be in his 41, 42. And by the way, the fact that he still wants to be great. I mean, he could take games off, and this guy wants to play. That's the thing about these guys are competitive, man. We see guys getting a certain age and go, I got enough money, I put it away, I'm done. You know, my passion and working like this, my family, I've got other priorities in my life. And then you see some of these tennis players. I always think, Roger Federer and Djokovic and those guys don't need to play. And Nadal, they have made hundreds and hundreds of millions of dollars. There's part of you that still wants to be great, to be that good. Now, a lot of money comes with it, and your sponsors stay with you. But it just seems like now more than ever, we've got guys 37, 38 and up playing at a really high level in sports. You gave a great example last night, Steph Curry. I know he's not the same player he was. You watched that game last night. I was just watching the highlights of the fourth quarter. He was unbelievable.
Yeah.
He was unbelievable. Denver was ahead in a lot of that game, and then he went to the basket, got a couple layups, and then they're feeding him down. I mean, those threes were downtown. They weren't just close to the three-point line. They were way back.
Why do you think all this is? You think it's just the advances and the nutrition and
so I think guys take
stuff?
care of themselves. I think the day of the beer and the burger after and before games and during the day, and guys smoking cigarettes before me. I mean, that's what they're all doing. Somebody else was talking about another sport about I used to bring 10 cigarettes. They tell you as a rookie, bring extra cigarettes for the veterans because everybody's going to want to smoke on the way to the game. It's right. And now the food is, and then they get to splurge after the game. Thank God it's after the game. They actually have burgers and stuff on there because these guys, they're eating healthy, man. And they're into it. They're all buying into it now. They're like, yeah, I do feel better. And you got nutritionists explaining things to them so they don't have to read books. And it's I think that's part of it. I do. But, man, we got a lot of athletes, 37, 38 playing a high level. I think Tom Brady kind of started something. Remember when he said, I'm going to play till I'm 45? I think he damn near did.
I wonder how much longer LeBron will go. That's going to be an interesting. I always hurt to start the season here.
By the way, how'd you like to hear LeBron's questions? He's going to be hearing.
Again,
you're going to tell me he's not going to get them?
But
hey, Damon Jones, everybody knows he's your guy, man. Did you know what he was doing, giving updates when you were playing and not playing, and you were a little banged up?
Those are interesting too. All that yet. Like a Bucks game or something where one of the guys was, he was sitting out, and you're talking about a line shift of 2 to 3 points. I mean, it's not exactly like if you find out LeBron is not playing, it's not exactly like it doesn't make the game some sort of lock. Like when Terry Rozier says, I'm going to leave the game early.
Yeah, like
that's
7
a little bit
times,
different.
And they go back. Well, I think somebody gave him the games that whoever he's working with gave the games and go back and look. And,
the interview with Terry Rozier when he eventually speaks, I don't know when that will be, Joe, when we get the documentary 10
He either
years from
goes,
now.
I made a big mistake. I'm sorry, I made a mistake. Or he just denies it right to the penitentiary.
But like, my question is why? Like, the money is, I mean, it wasn't even that. I just doesn't make any sense to me to have a guy that makes that much money risk everything
For a few tax-free dollars. I don't get it.
That makes absolutely no sense to me.
Me neither. I think that's the first reaction about this whole thing with everybody after they see the amount of money, especially the other sports are going, you made $100 million. You haven't even played for a while. Chauncey Billups, and you're a head coach, man. You know how many guys are waiting to get a job as a head coach or assistant head coach?
God, what a great job.
What a great job. And then on top of that, Terry Rozier, he's going to be over $200 million by the time he would have been close to $200 million in earnings.
Yeah.
And all we've seen is
what do you think those
end of a bench
those
guy.
checks are like a couple times a month?
Can't even imagine.
Jesus.
But anyway, he just
doesn't make any sense to me,
it
man.
doesn't.
That's the whole thing.
I don't know. Somebody's going to hit us with the addiction. I do agree. Somebody's going to hit.
Kenny hit us with it last night. It is, to me, it has nothing to do. I think Barkley was like right on with it. And I also think those guys did a great job last night on that show because like Shaq played with Damon Jones and those guys obviously all know Chauncey real well. Like that's got to be a tough deal
that's a small
to be
fraternity.
buddies with that guy and have to talk about that. That's a tough one.
Hard
man.
to explain when two of those guys, again,
the league looks
so
really bad too, though, right? Because the league cleared them.
There's going to be people that now believe that there's more guys. It's not just these guys.
That's another issue.
Especially when you got a head coach, a guy that was a star player on a bad basketball team before getting traded here. Anyway, we are going to break here on a Friday. We got a lot of stuff. And by the way, David Weinstein will join us, criminal defense attorney for Jones and Walker. We'll talk to him about later on what we're looking at here. He's had to represent a few of these kind of guys, and we'll ask him what's going to happen going forward. We'll have that for you later on. And we'll have Larry Bluestein join us here coming up in this 7 o'clock hour. We're getting down to the end of getting closer to the high school football playoffs. We got some more great games. We had some big upsets last week, so we'll get you caught up with all of that coming up here early 7 o'clock with our high school football insider, Larry Bluestein. Right now, I want to tell you about Atlantic Men's Clinic. Oh, man, we got a lot of messages to get out there, but this one ranks right there at the top. I stopped yesterday. I won't be going to Atlantic Men's Clinic today. I decided to surprise him with a little Thursday visit. Mr. Rose, how you doing? I said, man, I'm feeling great. They're telling me about a guy came in and said, hey, Joe Rose said, and they go, oh, he's here. Oh, yeah, he shows up either Thursday or Friday every week, man. Yeah. And what he says he got low T and ED. He had it. He had it real bad. He'd be honest with you. He told everybody. That's why we're telling you that if you're going through it right now and your energy level is really bad, you are tired all the time, you're grumpy, you're moody, you just don't have the energy, and you're going, well, this is what happens when you start to get a little bit older. And then ED kicks in. That's the one. I could live with the low T for a while, but the sex drive being gone was a rough one, man. That is a rough one. Hard to explain to my wife about what was going on. I got to tell you, though, man, I went to Atlantic Men's Clinic. I had great results. And by the way, before I get into all that, I didn't realize it happens to every guy. Every guy's going to have ED and low T. Every guy. So if you're going through it, it's normal. Don't be embarrassed. For some reason, man can't tell another man what they're going through. It's incredible. Atlantic Men's Clinic is going to fix it up. This is what they specialize in, knocking out low T and ED. You go in there, you set up that first appointment, you get the PSA test done, you meet with their professional staff, they look at your results, and they put you on a plan to get you great results quickly. 7 locations in South Florida serve you. A brand new, beautiful one in Hollywood, even, more convenient for you. 877-455-7300. Set up that first appointment. Tell them Joe Rose said to give them a call, that you're coming in. You heard me talking about it. Visit AtlanticMen'sClinic.com. Get more information. I'm just telling you this on a Friday. Atlantic Men's Clinic works and will make your weekends a lot better. All right, welcome back, and happy Friday morning as you're just getting up. And don't drag through the day, man. Try to get a little extra out of this day. You're a sports junkie, man. It's a great time. You want to forget about everything else going on in your life and watch sports, it's a great time because there's a lot of stuff we haven't even talked about. World Series tonight, Game 1. Ready to go? Ready to go tonight.
Should be pretty good.
Go Toronto.
Feel a little disconnected from that thing.
That's all right.
Don't you? Between and being in another country and then one, out in LA.
Yeah.
Although Shohei Ohtani is the most exciting player and damn near in sports.
Yes.
Right?
He just does things we haven't seen since kids played Little League Baseball. We're the big kid. Yeah, that's what we always joke about. Occasionally you get it. You get it in high school too. There's high school coaches go, I had a guy could do that. Throw 6 innings, strike out 10, and then hit 3 home runs. But we're talking about Major League Baseball. You're talking about, and by the way, he's got teammates that there are 4 or 5 of those guys everybody like to see in that top of that order, Freeman and Betts.
Yeah.
And
how many players you buy an outfield
Hernandez.
seat, Joe, and you can have a chance to become a millionaire going to the game?
Yeah.
They were interviewing one of those guys that caught that ball. He was a boxing coach in L.A.
Hey, by the way,
balls
too,
worth $3 million.
You go, hey, where are the seats? They go, this would be about a 440-foot shot. They go, we'll take it because he hits.
Now, those fans are pretty vicious, right? Dodger fans.
I didn't know if it was just with San Francisco Giant and Padre fans, but the 3 of them don't like each other.
I've noticed. There's been some altercations.
So the Padre and Dodger fans don't get along, and the
Mhm.
Giant and Dodger fans don't like each other. Well, you see it all the time. We sit and watch the fights up in the stands, and somebody's got their camera, and they're just beating the crap out of each other. Just, getting after it. But, so we'll see what happens with that. But I'm guessing the Dodgers are heavy favorites with their pitching and, as you said, with the lineup that they have. And by the way, it's not just spending money like the Mets. It's spending money to have a really good baseball team where the Mets, spend all their money and really struggle. All right. Hey, we've got a bunch of great stuff going on here that we're going to be hitting on today. Hitting it, a lot of it here in South Florida with our teams playing. First of all, I want to say this. It's early. We haven't gotten the 7 o'clock hour. I have no idea what to expect Sunday in Atlanta after what happened last week and that 31-6 loss. I'm guessing by far the worst loss, most embarrassing loss for Mike McDaniel. I was trying to go through some of the games last night, and for a team that's is trying to win, to be that bad. And again, you can't blame the weather. There was a little rain, but it was 65 friggin' or 60, high 60s during the game. And the rain ended up not being as bad as it was supposed to. And the winds, for everybody that reported that was going to have 40 to 60 mile an hour winds, it just never happened. Never happened. But you got a lot of things, man. Tua's coming off, as most people have said, the worst game that he's had, 12 of 23, 100 yards and 3 picks, 1 for 13 on third down. And Waddle just, I guess now we don't blame the coaches as much for that, because now Tua's saying, yeah, sometimes I couldn't see him, so I didn't throw it to him. That's what he said. So maybe, I don't know, instead of 3 targets from Tua, maybe there's 5 or 6 or 7 targets if the play was called for Waddle as a number 1 option. All I know is somebody got to explain. It's not just me. I just happen to be one of the first people to bring it up. But, you're shorthanded. Now Waller's out, who was really a nice story for a couple of weeks, although this was also a problem I was afraid he was going to have at 33 years old. He was going to break down, which he'll miss now 7 games. He missed the first 3. He's going to be out at least 4 on IR. And Tyreek's out. Tyreek spoke yesterday, did a podcast with Teron Armstead. But you got Waddle. You got Waddle and you got Achane. And you're doing a pretty good job of getting Achane the ball in different ways. You're trying different things. I'm sure they'll has some new things. We haven't seen him slide it out there a lot and running off a rub or a pick route, which I figure is coming. But Waddle, you can't expect to win with what you have on offense right now with Waddle with one catch for 15 yards. Now, I'm guessing I'm not the only one thinking this. I'm guessing there's a few people that are a hell of a lot smarter than I am that are at camp right now that work on this for a living, that have coordinator behind their name, pass coordinator, overall coordinator, run coordinator, coordinator, head coach, former coordinator. I'm guessing there's a lot of guys going, hey, man, the 2 deep thing got kind of old too, but nobody wants to hear we can't get Waddle the ball. Got to figure a way to get Jalen Waddle the football. And I'm not worried about he's mad right now or any of that stuff. I'm selfish as a fan. Get him the ball and let's see what happens. Then in the second part of this is because the Falcons offensive line and those 2 running backs, Bijan Robinson and Tyler Algier, they must just be going, man, what do you think? And we running inside, we running outside. They are going to try to, they are figuring ways as we speak to get that running game. And we're Michael Penix, who's been up and down so far. You know, Michael Penix is a starting quarterback. He's only thrown 5 touchdowns. Again, they run the ball really well most games. They didn't last week. 49ers got after him really well on the road. So, yeah, that's going to be their game plan is like, hey, if we're going to win, we're going to have to get the running game going like we did against the Buffalo Bills a couple weeks ago where they ran all over. They left the Buffalo Bills going home for their bye week going, uh-oh, we might have problems. What they just did to us, we may have some serious, serious problems. So anyway, hey, 7 o'clock hour's coming up. Sid the Kid put on a show last night. I got to tell you, man, there's just so many cool things going on. You always like it. Sidney Crosby's one of the greatest hockey players of all time. Played 20 years, 38 years old, and still playing a high level. Had a couple goals last night and an assist against the Panthers, who got a couple more home games. Some good ones coming up for Panther fans, too, including that Las Vegas team going to be coming to town. They look like they've got themselves a real nice team right now. And so we'll get you caught up on all that. Messi opens up the playoffs tonight in Fort Lauderdale. Game 1, best of 3 against Nashville. Man, we just got all kinds. Canes going to play Saturday on a bounce back against Stanford. Got to take it out on Stanford. Got to take it out. Get that confidence back. Get that running game going. No turnovers, bro. No turnovers against those smart Stanford kids. Don't let that happen, man.
I think they're going to be all right tomorrow. Good bounce back.
That's it. You don't have to butt me. You started to butt me. And you
no, it wasn't.
Yourself.
It's going to be a good bounce back.
All right. Hey, listen, we got more stuff. The main man, Anthony Caliendo, the main man, yes, sir, at the Business Broker Experts, is the best business broker in the state of Florida. Are you tired of all the stress? Are you tired of all the headaches? Are you tired of being tired? Well, I get it. Maybe you need to ask yourself a few questions. Hey, if somebody could sell my company, get me a lot of money, get me great results, not talk, but get it done, to tell me all about their approach and how they do it and attract serious buyers and sell it for top dollar, maybe it's time to sell that business. You've been complaining. You just had it. Hey, it's okay. You want to cash out in a big way. Anthony Caliendo's the guy that can do it for you, man. Now is the time. I'm telling you right now, now is the time. There's freedom after business ownership that you can really do some things you've been talking about in your life. Hey, man, I'm telling you right now, Anthony Caliendo's got some great programs for you. He really does. He works with some great people to get the value of your company up. I'm telling you, not only that, but you dial in, just meet him from start to finish through the bank and everything else. This guy gets it done. He puts deals together, gets you the most money. Talking about Anthony Caliendo, the main man. 1-800 the main man. That's 1-800 the main man, and start building your freedom today.
This update is brought to you by Doral Kia, home of the price. See our lowest price. Visit us at Doral Kia or DoralKia.com. Starting with the Panthers, who fell to the Penguins by a final of 5-3. Next up, the Cats will host Vegas tomorrow night. Over to the Heat, who will be in Memphis tonight. Tip-off is at 8, and the game can be heard here on WQAM. To the Canes, who will look to bounce back from their first loss of the season when they host Stanford tomorrow night. Kickoff is at 7 from Hard Rock, and the game can be heard here on 104.3 WQAM with our countdown to kickoff beginning at 3. In the NFL, Week 8 began with the Chargers beating the Vikings 37-10. On Sunday, the Dolphins will head to Atlanta to enter Miami, who will open up the playoffs tonight at home against Nashville. Kickoff from Chase Stadium is at 8. And in baseball, the Dodgers and Blue Jays will play Game 1 of the World Series tonight. The first pitch is at 8 from Toronto. A lot of stuff going on, Joe.
Well, you're not kidding, Woody. Your updates, man, by the time to get this out, they're going to be busy.
I think every sport
week or two, every
American sport is playing tonight.
You're right.
Right?
It's crazy.
Sure, there's college football.
Yes.
Huh.
There is always a Friday night game,
every American sport is playing tonight.
And
unless I'm missing something.
Speaking of that, Larry Bluestein was talked to him last night. He was at a high school football game Thursday night, and we'll get caught up with him and Dade Broward and Palm Beach County football as we've got a couple weeks, man, and the playoffs will start up for the high school football, trying to win that state championship and who's in position and all that stuff. We'll have that with Larry Bluestein. Some big upsets last week we'll be telling you about with everything else. We've been sitting here like a lot of people talking and with all our teams playing right now, but this Terry Rozier and Chauncey Billups and Damon Jones, and I don't know if there's going to be more names of former players and coaches that were involved in this illegal sports betting. The part that gets me, and it sounds like more Chauncey Billups, who by the way, the strange part, he's a head coach for the Portland Trailblazers. They're talking about his stuff with the illegal poker games that were rigged. And then on top of that, that the 4 mafia families were involved. So they mentioned the mafia, and I was like, oh, man, I watched that a couple of times, those families. The big families in New York. And so if Chauncey Billups was in on this and they think he knows something, and they're saying these guys might be able to bond out, Woody. I saw that yesterday, Terry Rozier and those guys who have plenty of money. They're going to be able to bond out till these, right? Can't leave the United States. You know the deal. Everybody knows the deal. I don't know how good I feel about these families worried that they're going to rat me out or a member of the family out. I'm guessing these guys will be getting some protection from the FBI. What a crazy, crazy story.
Yeah, you came back here and you said that to us, and I started thinking you're probably right, because this is like a mob movie.
If this would have happened in the 80s or 90s,
yeah,
and you were waiting on it, hell, I was watching last night. The guy was waiting on a trial in the Boston mob, and they killed his brother. His brother driving down the street, they killed him a day before, tried to get the guy a message, and he said, well, the guy they wanted to get, but the guy was more pissed off they killed his brother, so he But yeah, that's
like in Goodfellas, they start going after everyone that knows about the heist, right?
Yeah, that's exactly right. So I don't know if that stuff still goes on. I didn't even know. Hell, I didn't know there's. I know there's.
I didn't know that. I didn't know that there were mob families still running around.
I know the cartel still exists and doing certain things, but my God, you hear those original and like, oh, I just watched. They had the late 70s and 80s of the families and what had happened and who was running the. One guy would get whacked or the next guy would take over and, wow, it's just crazy. And now you hear that tied in with Terry Rozier and Chauncey Billups and Damon Jones. And Woody, you're right. It's like it's made for a movie or a documentary for sure. Somebody's going to jump on that. We never had this.
The poker story is absolutely bizarre.
Rigged poker games.
The way they did it, though.
And by the way, if you didn't pay, if you said, hey, I don't feel good, I think I just got ripped off, and you got the mob going, your ass going to pay. You pay your bills.
Yeah.
Just crazy. I did. It felt like something from the 70s and 80s. It's
The press conference yesterday was bizarre. Listening to explain all that stuff.
and Terry Rozier again.
At the end of the day, like the Terry Rozier, it's really sad though, right? And it also leaves you wondering how much more of this goes on.
The bigger one too is that the average, the common person out there is just watching this that doesn't care what a guy does and stuff. They're going, Terry Rozier, they had it out. He's made $160 million, $160 million. And Chauncey Billup, who played a while back, played on those Detroit teams, are really good. Detroit basketball. He made over 100
the Heat back in those days.
He made over $100 million.
Yeah.
And he's still coaching. Coaches don't make like $200,000. And what are you doing? Like, why? Then those guys got into it last night, whether it was addiction or stupidity.
I think Barkley hit it right on the head, though, man. I don't think this has anything to do with gambling addiction, and I think that's a major cop-out to just start blaming all these gambling sites.
I will tell you
the
one
league's
thing.
in bed with these companies. That has nothing to do with that.
I will tell you one thing. The president of all these professional leagues and these owners and these front office members don't think they had a few private meetings and things were sent out that how serious this is and what you're looking at. Forget that we suspend you for life. You're looking at life in prison with this stuff.
The real bad look.
Those guys knew it, though.
How about the NBA cleared him? He's sitting on the bench. That's a really rough look. And I'm sure the NBA probably didn't have the right information or whatever.
Well, they can't get the stuff done.
Still,
the FBI can get done.
That's just a rough look. Because now the NBA, Adam Silver's have to answer some very hard questions. And he's led the charge on the gambling thing, too.
They're going to say they did as much as they could with what they have compared to what the federal government can do.
But the number one question that I think Adam Silver is going to get and should be asked is, how do you guarantee fans the integrity of your sport?
Yeah. No, he'll get that.
And you know what? The answer, unfortunately, Joe, I'm sure he'll find a way to spin it, but the answer is I can't.
Well, we always say this. There'll be more dumbasses to come. We're not done. We're not done there.
No.
More dumbasses on the way.
So we do this, man. Like you see a game that looks like something's wrong and we joke about it. The fix was in. It's like, well, unfortunately, sadly, this stuff is happening.
I think a lot of those.
I hope so.
Late or
I hope so, man.
Okay. Do you believe now? Is that what you think? You think everybody's on the take?
No, but I also don't think that Terry Rozier is an isolated incident.
There could be more.
That's the scary sad part about this thing.
Well, usually you would think people would do it. You go back, you do the background. The guy's broke. He spent all his money. He's been terrible with his money. He's broke. He's at the end of his career. He's desperate.
Yeah.
Terry Rozier's got more guaranteed money. Hell, the Heat by themselves are going to make him rich.
I know.
What they owe him.
What about the 14th guy on the bench who plays a couple minutes here and there? What about that guy?
Yeah. That's a good one. I don't know.
I don't know who it was, Stephen A. Someone was talking about getting rid of prop bets altogether for NBA players. So the worst one, and they don't do it here in Florida, but they have college player prop bets. You talk about the guys that like.
Honestly, the college one scares me more.
Yeah, I'd say.
Than professional leagues.
You get to a kid who's making very little money.
We're talking about two of the three guys that made over $100 million, like $100 million, and still working. Like
Damon, don't count out Damon Jones. I'm sure he did just fine for himself.
I know, but I know what his role was as a player.
Yeah.
He never saw the big bucks, but he stayed around for 10, 12 years. You're right.
He's doing just fine.
All right, listen, we've got to go to break. We'll talk more about that with David Weinstein, criminal defense attorney from Jones and Walker at 8:00, and we have Larry Bluestein going to join us for some high school football, man. Hey, before we get to all that, though, I want you to protect your home with Loctite Impact Windows, Doors, and Roofing. Hey, we're not done yet, man. Hurricane season. There's still some things out there brewing around the Atlantic Ocean. You got that old leaky roof, replace your old roof now, and you can pay later. Loctite Impact offers the highest quality roofing materials with lifetime warranty plus thousands of 5-star reviews. Save big on their legendary state-of-the-art impact windows and doors. Impact windows as low as $3, $6 per window per month installed. Don't wait for the next storm, man. Visit LoctiteImpact.com. That's LoctiteImpact.com, or call, if you're like me, I want to talk to somebody, 954-500-LOCK. They got a professional staff working normal hours you can get a hold of. They'll answer all your questions for you, get the whole process started. They cover all of South Florida. Chev, the CEO over there, is going to do a great job for you. Loctite Impact Windows, Doors, and Roofing.
This hour
It is time to head out to the Toyota of Hollywood Hotline. Shop over 2,000 Toyotas on sale at one location. Toyota of Hollywood on 441 between Hollywood and Sheridan. ToyotaofHollywood.com.
All right, Woody, we go right to our man, our high school football insider, the legendary Larry Bluestein joins us. Blue, good morning, man. How you doing?
I'm doing great, Joe. You know what? We're probably 2 weeks left in the regular season, and I'm telling you, I'm amped up for these last 2 weeks because what has happened now is the schedule makers have made it, neat to watch the last couple of weeks. It's not just they're not just throwing teams together and saying, okay, you play them, finish off the season. There's no less than 7 or 8 games in Day, Broward, and Palm Beach today to keep an eye on. And that's the best thing, and that's why I'm pumped.
All right. Hey, before we get to anything, we got to go back to last week. Man, I didn't see a couple of those coming. Central over Southridge in a tight one, by the way. A great game. Archbishop McCarthy beats American Heritage Plantation 13-10. I got to tell you, I did not see that one coming. Did that shock you?
Oh, yeah. Well, yeah. But you know what? As every week goes by, things are less shocking now because a lot of these teams are beating up on one another. And even though parity hasn't totally come, it's coming pretty quickly. And that Southridge Central game was real interesting because Southridge got up 20-0. And everyone's going, oh, wait a minute now. Maybe, Southridge got something, which they do. But Central's a really good team, and Central really has.
Central knows how to come back. They did that against American Heritage Plantation too, man. They just know how to come back.
Yeah, and the great thing about it is that because they don't play the toughest of schedules, they're pretty healthy. So a lot of their kids are, intact. But the Central game, I kind of thought it would be close. I never thought that Heritage. I think Heritage has now become a mortal team, which is something that we never thought of. And then certainly I know our Palm Beach listeners last week were.
How about that one?
West Boca, defending 6A state champions, go to play West Palm Beach Cardinal Newman, and Jack Daniels wins. And wow, yeah, that's
what a wild game, an overtime win. Cardinal Newman. You thought it might be close, but you didn't think. I'm with everybody else. West Boca has been so good here after the year they had last year, and obviously still real talented. Cardinal Newman beats them 26-20. Wow.
Yeah, kind of a surprise. Kind of opens the way because next week West Boca will play at Delray Atlantic, who's undefeated going into tonight's game against O'Galley. A lot of people go, O'Galley, but that's a team that went 3 rounds deep last year, and they're loaded with talent, up near the Melbourne area and in the Space Coast, and they're coming south. Kind of like an hors d'oeuvre for next week's game because what a way to close. I mean, what a way to close next week, and we'll get into that. But, St. Thomas, Chaminade, and then in that game, too. It's going to be interesting.
Hey, real quickly, too, Vero Beach. Just give them a little love way up there where our signal, the tip of the signal up there, pounded Pahokee 53-14. Vero Beach looking pretty good, huh, going in the end of the year.
I thought it would be a closer game, even though it was on the road. But I'll tell you what, Coach Lenny Jankowski's done a great job. They have a lot of talent, a lot of kids going Power 4, and they're ready. And especially because Class 7A, the large class, is not, overwhelming. It used to be Columbus or Venice would be dominating, and neither have.
Hey, so now we get caught up here. St. Thomas, who's got a great team, at American Heritage Plantation, and this American Heritage Plantation after last week, that's got to be a rough one, getting ready to face that powerhouse. Yeah,
one of the teams that you say to yourself, when was the last time that Heritage has a losing record? They lose at home tonight, and they'll be 4-5. And you know what? St. Thomas still, playing great, but they were behind by 10 points in the fourth quarter last week to Monarch. So you never know. And Heritage is going to come in a little bit fired up, but St. Thomas wants to get their mojo back, especially because you got Delray Atlantic breathing down their neck in the region. So if we started today, Delray Atlantic would be the number 1 seed and St. Thomas would be 2. So
Yeah, that's crazy.
Yeah.
Hey, I got to ask you about, speaking of Monarch, they played their ass off last week. Great point. They got Piper. Tell me about that game. You expect that to be a tight one?
District title game, second year in a row. Last year, Monarch won it. Let's put it into perspective, because Monarch went at the beginning of the year and said, you know what, we're playing everybody. They went to New Jersey and played Don Bosco. They played Sanford Seminole up there. They opened up the season and played against Jacksonville Bulls, a team that's 7-1 or 8-1. And Piper, last year they were surprised. This year nobody's sleeping on them. But I think Monarch should come away with this though, because even though it's at Piper, I think Monarch has played that schedule. And if they win, they're going to be a high seed and they'll be home for the playoffs, even though they'll be 6-4.
All right, and Norland and Plantation, another game that's got some meaning to it.
Craziest season. Norland it has a chance to have a losing record. They haven't won in the district yet. But that being said, they're still going to be in the playoffs, and they changed head coaches in the middle of the week. So if there's not, you talk about turmoil going on.
Did they fire the guy, or did he just step down?
Yeah, it was kind of a mutual type of thing, and kind of crazy because he's a great guy. And, it's Darryl Heidelberg had that program for so many years, and then all of a sudden he gave it up this year, and Coach Johnson took
He's a good one, man. I miss him. He's a good one.
Yes, he is. And it's a mess, but it could all be ironed out tonight, because if they win, they'll be right back in the mix. Everybody will have, a win in a district that everybody's going to the playoffs. Yeah, it's kind of crazy, but that's
Hey, Blue, and I got to ask you, the Bucks got Gibbons playing really well. I was a little worried to start this year. They've got Chaminade now, though. They're stepping up in competition. What do you expect?
Yeah, it hasn't been pretty the last 2 years. Chaminade's kind of run roughshod on Gibbons. But, if Gibbons plays mistake-free football, they'll be in the game. Chaminade's really, really good. And that's the thing. Gibbons is going to be a number 1 seed in Class 2A. So, win, lose, or draw, they're going to be at the top. When the playoffs start in 2 weeks. Coach DeBuck, as you said, has done an outstanding job. And, we know where Chaminade is. They expect to be on that podium in December.
Hey, so are you still on this Columbus thing, or are you giving it up? I know you love Columbus, man. I think one of those mothers over there before the game gave you one of the best, some of the best Cuban food you've ever had. And you, so are you still on the Columbus? They got True North. What's going to happen?
Yeah, Columbus is 3-6, Joe. Holy mackerel!
Not used to seeing that. Not used to seeing that.
Yeah, when has that ever happened? It's a strange
The Catholics
situation.
used to be so good recruiting. What the hell are they doing? The priests would even getting involved. What happened?
Yeah, it's not that way. But here's the thing: they're still scary, and they're still in the playoffs, and that's the thing. So once they hit the playoffs, because like I said, Class 7A is really, really not strong. Western's down, even though they won their district. And I'll tell you what, this is a Miami True North Academy. That's a program you better keep your eyes on over the next couple of years. They're 5-2. They've won 5 straight. They're a really good football team. Coach Greg LaFair, former University of Miami lineman, is the head coach, and they've done a great job. It's going to be a good game tonight. I think it's one of those contests. But you're right. You got to keep your eye on Columbus in the playoffs. I'm not going to let that go, and I don't need one of the mothers to make me a sandwich of Fritos on top of it.
Hey, no, they better not be buying you with good Cuban food. That's wrong. Because if that's happening, I'm coming out there. Damn, we're going to both get out there with that one.
Yeah,
hey,
no doubt.
So what else are we missing here of big games that you're looking forward to?
Well, we got a really good game. Probably one of the games that's getting most of the attention because it's like a national game of the week is Ice Harris, who lost his first game last week up in Lakeland. They were up 20-0 against Lake Gibson and lost. They're going to play Miami LaSalle, and LaSalle's undefeated. They're 8-0. I mean, they're a class 2 below Mater Academy, but that's a game that everybody's been pointing to, for a number of reasons. I think it's gonna be well attended. A lot of people have gone to both schools, especially with LaSalle, because LaSalle's an older school, and there's a lot of people that, that get involved. So that's one of the marquee games. And if you're up in the Palm Beach area, I'm telling you right now, if you haven't seen Atlantic play, they're playing the O'Galley team tonight. That's a really good team, well coached, a lot of talent on the team. So you've got 7 games tonight, and as you mentioned, you talked about New Orleans game. That's going to be really good. There's a lot of people because Plantation with a win, I think they can pretty much get the lead in the district, and that's pretty. And they played well. They like you said, they came up with a big win. They beat Archbishop McCarthy, who beat Heritage, and it's it. And
great stories, man. Great stories going on. That Archbishop, what a great story. What a great story.
And I think this is just the beginning of that. So a lot of these teams that a lot of people are shaking their head and they're going, who? But believe me, and then you got Central, and you got, by the way, Northwestern picked their only loss of the year was to Orange Lutheran of California, who is deemed to have used an ineligible player. So Northwestern's undefeated now. They're 8-0.
How about that? All right. Now we need a little break from time to time. There's nothing wrong. All right. We got to get to the good stuff now. This is where people either really like you or they don't.
Yeah.
So what do you got for my top 10 in South Florida where high school football rules? Go ahead.
St. Thomas stays number 1. Okay.
All right,
and rightfully so. They come up with a big win last week against Monarch. Northwestern now with their newly found win will stay at 2.
Bam. Okay.
Chaminade stays at 3. I got Miami Central being at 4, and then Southridge, and then right after Southridge, you got to go with Atlantic, right at and then Dillard. We don't talk much about Dillard. They're gonna be 8-0. They're gonna be 9-0 after tonight, and then West Broward picked up another win. That's another team you better watch out for in the playoffs, because I'll tell you what, they picked up another 50-point game last night to win. And then we'll get Gibbons, MacArthur, and then True North is at 10. So we got some teams, and we're going to keep our eye on the Atlantic Eagles tonight, and then next week that's going to be our marquee game along with St. Thomas and Chaminade.
Yeah, West Boca and Atlantic. Boy, if you're up there in that area, you got to see that one. That's going to be bragging rights up there in Palm Beach, although
huge.
Jack Daniels might disagree with that right now after his win. No, don't do that. Palm Beach.
He listens to the show religiously. I'm telling you, he got upset when we were talking about how good Chaminade was last year, and he's in the same classification. So
we must have a nice team, man, to do that to West Broward. That's
yes, they did.
You don't come in flat when you play them. All right, hey, good stuff, Blue. Really appreciate it. Thank you.
Okay, Joe. We'll talk to you next week. Thanks.
Larry Bluestein, our high school football insider, joining us here this morning to talk a little high school football. Get a chance to try to get everybody involved in this thing, man, with a chance. Everybody wants to win. That would have been cool, man. Win a state championship would have been cool. Because I know my guys still talk about my team being undefeated, and we're in our friggin' almost out of our 60s. And I'm thinking, damn, can you imagine winning a state championship? That would be really, really cool. Some of these schools win them every year. Hey, Chapman Partnership's winning every day. Well, I'll tell you what, the work they're doing for the homeless in Dade County, man, Chapman Partnership, keep it rolling, man. People are just bragging about the program you've put together for the homeless. Yep, helping the homeless. And I don't mean a bite to eat and give them a shower. And I'm talking about rehabilitation, bringing them in, mental health doctors, dentists, babysitting services. We're getting families back together. The goal within 3 to 4 months is to have you find a job and help you find a place to live. They just doing all these great programs. Get you back out there, man. Chapman Partnership celebrating their 30th anniversary, man, here in 2025. What a great story. 30 years, 3 decades. Chapman is assisting over 145,000 individuals and families to overcome self-sufficiency, man, putting together some great programs, caring support, and all these wraparound services. Really, the goal, again, is 3 to 4 months. And, it don't work on everybody, but we got some great success stories of people. It makes you feel good when you go down there, make you feel good. If you want to put your money on something that will make a difference, man, join me here at WQM to show support to one of my favorite charities that's really making a difference in our community. Any level of support is impactful. We'll take anything. Let's help support families and individuals overcoming homelessness at Chapman here in 2025. Just go online to chapmanpartnership.org. That's chapmanpartnership.org. Thank you so much.
And now, it's time for Hollywood's headlines. Without further ado, here's Hollywood.
All right, Woody, what do you have for us here on a Friday?
All right, Joe. Looks like the NBA numbers are in for opening night, and NBC did quite well for themselves here. You had 5.9 million viewers across broadcast television, and of course that adds the streamers on the Peacock.
That's all. They put all that together now, right?
Yeah. Can you can't shorten the Peacock and just say the anyway. Do you have any idea which opening night?
What do you want to say? Go ahead.
Go ahead. I almost did it.
The 10-year-old stuff. Go ahead.
Yeah.
Come on.
Any idea which NBA opening night holds the record for viewers?
Which NBC all-time?
NBA opening night holds the record for viewers.
You want me to guess the game?
I want you to guess.
It's got to be a Chicago Bulls Michael Jordan game.
No.
L.A. Laker Magic game.
A little closer to home.
My guess is LeBron.
Golden State.
Game in Miami.
I don't know if his mic is on, but Jamie said the LeBron game in Miami. That would be correct.
Really?
LeBron Big Three. Come on, man.
All right.
Sorry, Jamie. I don't even know where your mic is on the.
I don't either, man. But get Harriman back. We got to get
here.
That
it is.
thing
There
going.
we go.
There
Sorry
you go.
about that.
Go ahead, say something. Say hello, Jamie. Say hello to
What's
Mom
going on?
up there. Mom dating up there? Or she's single. What's she doing? What's Mom doing
She's
up there?
doing her thing up there. She's
All right.
chilling.
Attaboy. All right. Good.
Thanks for making that weird, Joe. Anyway.
Hey.
Sorry, Jamie.
Hey, no, I got to tell you, the kid's good, though. He answered her right away. Like, okay, Mom's doing great.
Probably best
doing better than Tua at the press conferences, huh?
Yeah, right. God. Yeah, that's not his strength.
Probably would have been better off I didn't find his mic on there.
Figure out what his strength is. Go ahead.
All right. We got another documentary, Joe.
Which one now?
It is a 3-part docu-series called Alex vs. A-Rod. It'll be on HBO. It is a profile of a, quote, story about a flawed man. It's the story about a flawed man that happened to play baseball, and therapy saved his life.
Oh, my God. How many more? Is he involved in this one? He's had a couple of them. What was our guy's name that does all the
Billy Corbin?
Billy Corbin. Just
the A-Rod movie is fantastic.
Apparently, A-Rod really pissed him off when they were meeting, and he felt like the truth wasn't coming out on what Alex wanted done. And
he found such a clever way to tell that story with all the kid actors and say, what a great.
So now, again, I like Alex. Listen, man, I haven't been perfect. I've made a lot of mistakes in my life, and
everyone has, bro. But his are worse than most.
Alex has made a nice comeback through everything that's happened to him.
All-time comeback.
It is
an all-timer.
It is one of the greatest sports comeback. Because I got to tell you, he's getting hired. He's owning friggin' teams. The networks are fighting over. They want him on there for
gyms
baseball.
Down here.
He owns gyms down here.
How come
UFC gyms?
How come Lance's thing didn't land? Lance did the Oprah apology, and it just didn't land.
Did A-Rod go after? He
A-Rod went after a bunch of people.
Yeah.
You saw the doc. You saw the Billy Corbin thing. Yeah, of course he went after people.
I can't answer that. Because I got to tell you, I look right now. I step back after being friends with A-Rod for a while. We're obviously not there now because we don't talk, and he talked third party talk. So, which is fine. But like I like A-Rod. I'm like, you know what? I'm cool with A-Rod.
Yeah, but Lance is your number one most hated athlete.
I don't like Lance at all. He's a bum. And the guy had cancer, and he did great things. He actually raised a lot of money for cancer, more than 99.9% of people out there that are raising money for cancer.
Everybody had one of those bands. I still have mine. A couple in the package at home.
But I got to tell you, man, his when they came out and what he did to people.
Oh, yeah. He went after people.
He ruined people's lives to go out of the way to try to protect his doping.
I just remember that apology thing, and he was like, I think he was living in Austin, Texas, and he was like, yeah, I go for a walk in the morning, and people throw stuff at me. Yeah, they throw garbage at me.
He's going to
heckle me.
He's a bum for life. He's a bum for life.
Just stop.
You ask people. You throw those two names out there. Whoever he hired to help him rehabilitate his life. I'm not saying everybody, because
You're saying he hired the wrong PR firm?
I'm just saying that some people are forgiven and some aren't, and the way he's handled things. I'm not saying everybody's in love with A-Rod. He's still got people that don't like him. That's going to happen. There are people never going to forgive you. I got guys still won't talk to me over something I said like 20 years ago, and they won't let it go.
Mm-hmm.
And I forgot that I said it, and they'll go, remember what you said back in 1995? No, it's a lot of crazy shit, but what I say.
That's
anyway.
one.
Right, go
3
ahead.
strikes and you're
Don't
out
worry,
at
don't worry about
the
it.
old
You're
ball
good.
game.
What else you have?
All right.
I didn't mean to do that. I'm
the
sorry.
sports card market,
You
Joe.
told me to stop doing that.
I know.
Please stop.
Len's gonna come in today. He's gonna have a
He's
talk
not
with
up
you.
yet. It's 7:50. Go ahead.
Sports card market dipped in September, Joe.
Finally.
After 3 straight record months.
What do you mean? Like I thought you were gonna say 30 plus years.
I gotta tell you, I don't know where all this is heading. I went to Target yesterday. Topps basketball came out yesterday. I went to Target.
You grabbed them.
There must have been 50 boxes, all with Cooper Flagg's face all over them, who had a massive clunker, by the way, in his opener.
Doesn't matter. I heard everybody making a big deal. First game, 10-10.
Yeah, well, I took on my fantasy basketball team, so I didn't think he'd stink. But anyway,
he'll be all right.
There
Give him
must have
81
been
more.
There must have been 50 boxes of blaster boxes. On top of that, were about 100 hanger boxes. There's just so
People aren't
much,
buying them.
so much of this product out there that I just don't see how this is sustainable. But anyway, man, yeah, they still, by the way, they still did really good. There was $387 million in online card sales in September.
Doesn't Fanatics
it's still the
own
second
everything?
best in history.
Does Fanatics basically own everything?
Not basically, they do, yes.
Okay.
Yes. Well, they have the license.
Fanatics, how's everything going in that business? Because it's all yours now.
Does Fanatics still operate that casino? Remember they were going to open like a sports book? I think they did, but I don't know if that's still even in existence. But yeah, they want to own everything, man. How about this one, though? This is why I don't think all this is sustainable. And again, I love this stuff. I follow it, but
what?
This is not a good number. The people that track grading, cards getting graded, reported more than 2.20 million cards were graded in September. I just don't know how all this is sustainable here.
So why does everybody, don't some people just get cards and just want to have them and they don't care about the grade, or does everybody want to grade the card?
If I'm buying a card, I would prefer to have it graded,
Okay.
but
so when you go, hey, I didn't realize it's graded, it's a 9. Oh, wow. Okay.
It's just tough, man. You got to find stuff that has some sort of like scarcity to it. You know, some of the older stuff I like, older LeBron, older Dwayne, and I actually just bought a Baker Mayfield card the other day.
How's that doing?
I thought his stuff is wildly undervalued.
Who's a hot rookie right now for NFL?
Is
there one?
That's a good question.
Jackson Dart?
I guess Cam Ward and Jackson Dart. Yeah.
I'm if Cam makes it through these 17 games,
who's actually pretty hot?
He's the most durable guy I've ever seen. Who?
Cam Scattaboo.
Oh yeah, that's got.
There's not a ton.
You better. He's only got about 4 years in him, maybe. Guys plays reckless.
Okay, you just put an end to his career. All right.
What do you think?
I don't know. I'm not a buyer of his stuff, but
no, I'm saying get his.
I
stuff
do
now.
like Cam Ward stuff because I do think he's going to be good eventually. I think that thing's a mess. Anyway, our final one here, Joe. If you go to local10.com, they have a long list of restaurants here that have had some significant issues.
That's what they do.
This is eye-opening stuff because I happen to have been to a couple of these, and I'm not going to name names on here, but I would just, again, if you are a person who eats not just at your home, I would check out this website and see if perhaps you dine at any of these places that have rats running around.
They put a list out?
Yes, not only that, but they tell you exactly what they've got. Like this place, it says rodent activity presented as evidenced by rodent droppings, observed approximately 25 plus rodent droppings behind small freezer and kitchen, 10 plus rodent droppings on top of chemical solutions containers in kitchen.
Yeah.
rodent droppings on top of kitchen towels.
That will ruin your appetite if you were to see something like that. Yes.
So before we get off to the weekend here, Joe, check out Local 10 and see, maybe you don't order a side of rat crap with your food.
You sound like you really want to get after a couple of those restaurants, Woody. Hey, 8 o'clock hour's coming up here. We're going to be talking to David Weinstein. Kind of join us. We're going to talk to him.
I love David. He's the nicest person in the world, but it's never good when we have to bring him on, right?
No. But this is good. I think this is good. Having David Weinstein, criminal defense attorney, Jones and Walker to talk about what's going to happen here, what Terry's looking at, Rozier and Chauncey Billups and Damon Jones and all this stuff that came out yesterday. Really curious from his take, since this is what he does, represents guys like this. We'll talk to him. Right now, I want to tell you about Baptist Health South Florida. I'm going to talk to you about something good. I don't want to yell and scream. Where do the pros go when they get injured? That's the question. Where do the pros go? I get that more than anything. Go Inter Miami, the Miami Heat, the Florida Panthers, the Miami Dolphins. Trust the sports medicine program that Baptist Health South Florida's put together with, if you're going to be tops in the country, one of the best, you got to have great specialists and great team doctors. And they have them all. And because they're not only the team doctors, there are general doctors too. They're fantastic. Knee, shoulder, foot and ankle, hand specialist, back specialist, hip and knee replacement, Achilles, they do it all. Next time you have any kind of problem with your knee, your shoulder, with the latest in technology, they're doing it all for you and getting great results. And you will too, especially with the 3 facilities they have, from Doctors Hospital in Coral Gables to Hard Rock Stadium next to the training facility, or 595 in Pine Island in Plantation. Hey, that's right. They're not only seeing high school, college, and professional athletes. They got time for all of us. Visit baptisthealth.net/ortho. Do it today.
Kia.com, starting with the Panthers, who fell to the Penguins by a final of 5-3. Next up, the Cats will host Vegas tomorrow night. Over to the Heat, will be in Memphis tonight. Tip-off is at 8, and the game can be heard here on WQAM. To the Canes, who will look to bounce back from their first loss of the season when they host Stanford tomorrow night. Kickoff is at 7 from Hard Rock, and the game can be heard here on 104.3 WQAM with our countdown to kickoff beginning at 3. In the NFL, Week 8 began with the Chargers beating the Vikings 37-10. On Sunday, the Dolphins will head to Atlanta. To enter Miami, will open up the playoffs tonight against Nashville. Kickoff from Chase Stadium is at 8. And yesterday, Messi signed a contract extension to stay in Miami through 2028. And in baseball, the Dodgers and Blue Jays will play Game 1 of the World Series tonight. The first pitch is at 8 from Toronto. The Joe Rose Show continues now. It is time to head out to the Toyota of Hollywood hotline. Shop over 2,000 Toyotas on sale at one location. Toyota of Hollywood on 441 between Hollywood and Sheridan. ToyotaofHollywood.com.
Woody, that makes it sound even better, man, coming in with that. That's beautiful. We get ready to introduce David Weinstein, criminal defense attorney with Jones Walker. David, good morning, man, and thank you so much. Great having you on after the 10 o'clock press conference yesterday and everything that was laid out there. I got to tell you, man, and I'm a mob-loving, watch every documentary and show that's out there going back to 70s and 80s, and I got to tell you how stupid I am. I thought they were all broken up, and to hear all the New York families that were that Terry Rozier or Chauncey Billups was involved with I was shocked.
Well, good morning, Joe. Always a pleasure to join you. But yeah, they're still out there, Joe. They didn't fade away. Just because you can use your phone to place a bet doesn't mean that there's still not some allegations about organized crime still out there.
Yeah, so let's get right to Terry Rozier. Boy, some of the things that came out, being indicted on charges of wire fraud, conspiracy, and money laundering conspiracy. Each count carries no more than 20 years. You start adding this up, not to mention participating, like taking himself out of games, injured for these prop bets. When you put all that stuff together, how serious could this be for Terry Rozier? What could he be looking at?
He could be looking at a loss of a lot of money that he's got in the bank, and he's looking at some significant jail time. Joe, not as much as Chauncey Billups and the others because of the amount of money that was wagered in Rozier's case, but he's looking at somewhere in the range of about 5 years or more if he's convicted of something like this. Now, he can cut his time by cooperating and handing up other players who are doing similar things, and that's a choice he's going to have to make, but he's looking at a loss of money and some significant time in jail.
This is kind of a crazy one, the Chauncey Billups, and I'm with everybody else. Terry Rozier, fact that he made 160 plus million, I can't put, it just makes no sense to me. But Chauncey Billups, the head coach for the Portland Trailblazers and involved with this, with these rigged poker games and everything. And then the mafia families being involved. Is there concern if he does, all these guys will get out, right? They'll be able to get out on bond. Is that correct? Probably, as long as they don't leave the country.
As long as they don't leave the country, they've all got significant ties here. There are some allegations in that indictment about some extortion. So for a couple of the other defendants in that case, there might be an argument made that they're a danger to the community and they might stay in jail while they're waiting trial. But Billups and most of the rest of them, they'll be out on bond.
So is the federal government worried about the mob taking things in their own hand before this thing ever has a chance to go to trial? Or am I watching too many 80s movies?
No, you're not watching too many movies, Joe. I think there's going to be a concern here, given the breadth of the organization, that people might be told not to talk and not to do anything. And so I think that the government is a little bit concerned about that.
How bad's this problem in sports from your side of seeing what's going on? I just feel like Woody and I were talking this morning. If it's these three guys, Damon Jones, a coach, and a guy that's still playing, making real good money, it must be more. Do you agree with that?
Oh, absolutely, Joe. I think a lot of us have been waiting for something like this to happen. This is not the first case. There was another case earlier involving another player who's peripherally tied to this with the same type of allegations. Yeah, as soon as you have the ability to place these in-game bets, so many prop bets going on. The slightest bit of inside information is going to change the way you're going to be able to benefit from all of this. And I think that this was something that was a long time coming, and not just in the NBA. I have to believe that there's some of this perhaps going on in some of the other sports too. Just the tip of the iceberg.
What could Chauncey Billups, when this all said and done, another guy made in his career, he was a great player, as you know, made over $100 million as a player. What could he be looking at for what he's being charged with?
He's looking at twice the amount of time that Rozier's looking at, because the allegation in this one is that they were able to bilk about $7.1 million out of all these poker players. And it's all about the numbers, Joe. That's what drives the guidelines in these cases. Lower numbers in Rozier's case, because the amount of money wagered and won was a little bit lower, but 7.1, that puts you up, potentially in the 10-year range.
Gosh, you just you start to look at all this stuff. By the way, all the commissioners, I remember Roger Goodell with his Vegas thing before he obviously changed his mind, and they now have a team, the Las Vegas Raiders, but everybody was concerned when we jumped into this gambling, and the owners now own a piece of a lot of these gambling companies and everything else. Is there any way possible to completely police this? I don't think there is, right? Guys are always going to think they can beat this somehow.
There isn't, Joe. That's the way the system works. Everybody thinks you're always going to be able to beat it, and there's just not enough eyes and ears available to catch everything that goes on. Something's always going to slip by. And a lot of people thought that the illegal gambling would disappear and it would go away once you had this legitimized sports betting, but that hasn't gone away either.
You have seen stuff like this before in your line of work, and I'm always curious. Doesn't everything come back to somebody blowing the whistle on somebody? They got somebody, and they gave them not only names, but gave them things that happened to really justify what they're saying, and they could back it with facts. Is that correct?
It is, Joe. Look, 9 times out of 10, it's somebody who got caught, got put with his or her back against the wall, and they decided they needed to save their own behind and started talking and started giving information. There are a lot of good investigators out there, and there's a lot of good police work that takes place. But most of the time on cases like this, it all comes from inside information. You get something from somebody, you start listening in on their phones, you start intercepting their text communications, and then from there it just snowballs. And that's what's going to be at the core of both of these cases. Not only inside information from people who are cooperating, but text messages and bank records and travel records and other things that corroborate what these people have to say. We heard from Rozier's lawyer saying that the witnesses are unreliable, and they may be.
Right.
But if the government has documents and other corroboration to back it up, juries find that those people are not so unreliable.
You think at some point where you get caught in a corner, I don't know if you've had clients who just like, hey, they got us. You start talking to most of these guys, end up talking. Would you be surprised if Terry Rozier or Chauncey Billups or Damon Jones started talking about what they know?
I think there's a very good chance. I think with Billups, I think it's greater because of the amount of time that he's facing. And Jones has got 2 cases now, so he's looking at a significant time. As for Rozier, we've already heard what his position is from his lawyer at this point in time, which is I didn't do anything wrong. The NBA cleared me, and that's what he's going to go going forward with it. But I think with Jones and Billups, I think that they're going to be given that opportunity, and they're probably going to take it up.
So the NBA obviously doesn't have the sources to go out and really evaluate these things like the FBI and the government does and the things that they can do. Is this a bad look for the NBA, or did they really do everything they could?
Well, let's see how they take a spin on it, Joe. And you'd be surprised at the resources that professional organizations have to go after and obtain information. They don't have subpoena power, but they have ways of getting people to talk to them, and they have former law enforcement working for them. But I think that the NBA spin at this point is going to have to be not that we cleared him, but that rather we found something that was going on and we passed that information along to law enforcement to let them take care of the matter. I know that Rozier's lawyer at this point has said that he was cleared by the NBA. I don't know if they really cleared him or if they simply looked at what they were going to look at and then passed it on to law enforcement. Let's hear what the NBA has to say about that.
Again, you've dealt with the federal government, so you know how hard is it for these guys going to be to beat the federal government with the information they must have put together to finally come out and arrest these 3 guys?
Nothing's impossible, Joe. I have seen juries do very strange and very odd things based on, this is from everything we've seen so far in the paper, in the press conference from yesterday, in the press releases. They've lined everything up. They've got a significant amount of evidence and corroboration and information, but nothing is 100%. But this one looks to be on paper a pretty significant case against all of these defendants.
David, when you get one of these kind of cases, I'm not saying directly, but maybe in the same family of stuff, you ever get to a point with your client where you go, hey, man, I know what you're saying, but it's not adding up. I don't think we can win this. Let's go a different direction on this. Have you had to do that?
I've had those conversations, Joe. And it happens after you get a look at all the evidence and after you've had a chance to evaluate everything that's going on. But ultimately, it's the client's decision. I can give them advice,
right?
But it's up to them about what they want to do. And I simply show them the paths that they can go down. If they want to go down a cooperation path, that's up to them. But if they want to fight it, then you know what, Joe? Put on the suit and tie. We'll go to court and we'll get 12 people who couldn't get out of jury duty try to decide whether the government was right or whether they're wrong.
Yeah. Damn, David. This unbelievable, man. This Terry Rozier, Chauncey Billups, Damon Jones, and you just feel like everybody. The other part of this was really interesting. Everybody's always known from down here. Damon Jones was good friends with LeBron James. They're good friends. They've been teammates, and certain guys you like on your teams through the years, and sometimes you get a chance to play together more than once. What comes out of that now? Does that mean LeBron gets checked out because Damon was getting information? LeBron's such a great player that he could affect games in so many different ways, because I can't imagine LeBron, the way he plays, ever being involved in this, but now he's got to answer these questions, right?
Well, he's got to answer questions, but he's a victim here, Joe. Yeah. Jones took that information and that friendship and the inside information he had, and he traded on that for his own benefit and used that to the detriment of, potentially LeBron. But he's not involved in this from what it appears on paper. It appears that he's just a victim. And look, you can't pick necessarily your friends, but, you share a lot of information. You count on them not to take it and go out there with it. But, in reality, that case, the case involving Rozier and Jones, that one's no different than insider trading cases that the SEC prosecutes all the time. Yeah. You got a friend that gives you a tip on a hot stock and you act on it. Well, you weren't supposed to give out the information. You weren't supposed to act on it. And that's what happened in that one.
I know last night, I don't know if you watched any of the NBA shows, they were talking about stupidity or addiction or greed. They could have thrown in the other one as greed with these guys making what they're making to do this. How would you take a look at this and how would you explain it? My wife even asked me, she heard what these guys had made. She goes, why would they do that? I mean, most people out there that aren't in your business or my business going, why would they do this? What would be your take?
It's absolutely simply that, Joe. It's the greed. You've got it all. You got it sitting there and somebody offers you a little more easy money and you do it one time and you get away with it and you go, well, I'm only going to play this game for so long. And yes, I have a lot of money in the bank, but I got to always use a little bit more. Yeah. And I'm spending it. And you know what? I got away with it the first time. Try it again. Got away with it the second time. And then from there, you figure you're just never going to get caught. And these are all A-type personality people who are always competitive and are always trying to be in the top. And they figure, I'll take a little more money, put it in my pocket. It's not an endorsement, but nobody's watching. Nobody's going to catch me, and I'm getting away with it.
David, great stuff, man. Great stuff today. I really appreciate you coming on to talk about this. It's just a crazy, crazy story. So thank you and have a great Friday. Have a great weekend. Even good luck to your Bills, man, on a little bounce back.
I thank you, Joe. Wow, things must be really low for you that you're going to wish my Bills good luck. But thanks. We'll take it. We need it. Yeah, got to get a win this weekend.
You get that run defense rolling. We got something in common.
Exactly.
Run defense. Thanks, David.
You're welcome, Joe. Have a great weekend.
All right. David Weinstein, criminal defense attorney with Jones Walker. We've got to go to break. Got to try to be nice. This guy, nice enough to come on with us, spend a little time talking. What a crazy, crazy stuff, man. The mob? Damn. No, it's still going.
I feel
Joe.
like this is like your dream here, like the mob mixing with sports.
Crazy.
You love that mob stuff.
I do, man.
You can't get enough.
I don't know
of
if
it.
I like the cartel stuff more or the mob movies more. It's all real. It's just.
Well, what's your favorite movie out of all of them?
I actually like the documentaries. I like the actual.
You like the real life stuff.
I like
Okay.
they got some great mafia documentaries out of the families in New York. Some great ones.
Yeah.
And, they busted them all, so they got half the hit guys now that they talk to after all these years because everybody ratted at the end of the day.
I don't know.
They broke
you can't
all the
go wrong
rules.
with Pesci and De Niro, though.
No, those guys. Oh, no, of course. Those are.
Throw a little Ray Liotta
Going
in there,
to
a little
Vegas.
Goodfellas.
Yeah, when they went to Vegas and
Casino.
Yeah.
Ooh, that's a
good
good movie.
That's a good one. Nobody was safe there. Hey, by the way, we've got more stuff to get to here this morning. Don Bailey Jr. is going to join us. Mike Florio is still going to join us this morning with college and some pro football. Canes got a big one, got to bounce back in a big way, get that confidence back, figure some things out with Stanford. Got a little upset win over Florida State last week out on the West Coast. Hey, I want to talk to you about Dr. Barry and his staff. Yeah, I'm talking about Recovery Unplugged. A lot of guys out there, we get off the road. Had it happen myself. I've been off the road on both sides. I have. Get in a funk, can't get out of it. Marriage falls apart. Your jobs fall apart. And all of a sudden, you got some serious demons, man. And if you're going through mental health issues, Recovery Unplugged Behavioral Health has a beautiful mental health residential program in Fort Lauderdale. For 12 years, they've helped over 20,000 people heal with expert clinical team and innovative treatments like this ketamine therapy for depression, anxiety, and trauma. If you or someone you really care about needs a winning strategy, please call 954-737-4508. Talk to Dr. Barry and his staff, or you can visit recoveryunplugged.com. Everyone deserves a great season in life, or I like to say a second chance. Recovery Unplugged, heal out loud.
I'm AJ Greer of the Florida Panthers. Congratulations to WQAM.
All right, Woody. Thank you, man. Here, man, that stuff's wild. Everybody's sitting here talking about trying to figure out this Terry Rozier thing and what's going to happen. And Chauncey Billups is a lot worse than Terry Rozier's, who's bad. Damon Jones. Those guys looking at some serious time, man.
Pretty crazy.
They got now one thing they got going for them. They got a lot of money to go out and get the best.
I'm not shocked by any of this stuff. Like, this is it's happened. It's going to continue to happen.
I think when it happens to a guy on one of your teams, and we have,
when it's on your team, it's definitely
been very good.
Ideal.
Trust me, if there's somebody that's excited about not what happened to the guy, because the Heat don't wish bad on any of their players, but I mean, if there's one guy, my God, they're
trying to get the salary off the books.
Dump this guy since they got him.
No, this one stings. My yesterday when my wife found out about it, she sent me the picture of my son with him at Heat camp.
Yeah,
it stings. I don't know how to explain that one, by the way, with my son, because he likes the players he met at Heat camp. I don't know how to explain to him. What do I say?
But hey, he made a mistake. Woody, it's
I just tell him he made a mistake.
Just made a mistake. Well, what are you going to do? Like, I always love when somebody says
he's going to surface in about 15 years, but he made a mistake.
Don't take this the wrong way. But this whole thing about role model full-time, we're talking about A-Rod earlier. We're talking about this. Listen, man, people make mistakes, okay?
This is a bigger mistake.
I know, but you're like, wow, he just let my kid down for life. Like, Woody, I mean, come on, man. You're not perfect
He's had a rough stretch, though, man. He had Jimmy Butler.
Jimmy didn't break any rules. Jimmy's just a clown.
I know, but that was a tough one.
Hey, man, you're going to have to go through this, Woody. Sorry.
I know.
It's called human nature, brother of life.
I know.
Things are going to happen.
Tough out there.
Things are going to happen. People you idolize, and then you find out, they got 9 girlfriends. I mean, things are going to happen, man. Nobody's,
I could live with that, but this is we're looking.
I know, but you act
here.
like you expect everybody to,
not fix games.
Not fix games, but in general, you just got to explain it to him, Woody.
I will. I'm going to
you shelter him from things that are going on in life and have
next
them
time
forever.
we watch a Heat game together, I'm going to say he's looking at a very long sentence because he was point shaving, allegedly.
All right, whatever.
Someone said made a mistake in Charlotte, not Miami. There you go.
Yeah,
I'll say that.
Yeah. By the way,
Big Mike invited you to a mob game in New York next time you go. So when you're up in New York, he'll take you to a mob card game.
Big Mike, you're a funny man, brother. You're a funny man.
You would play, right? You got invited?
I see him all the time when we go to Jersey. He cracks me up. This guy's very funny. No, I'm not going to any of those things. I said I like seeing the whole thing, but I'm not. No, I'm not interested. I got to tell you, anybody else that follows all this stuff and remembers late 70s and 80s and there's so many documentaries out, from Boston mob to the New York mob families, and everything they had down here going on and up there, and then you hear those names again, you're going, they're still around. And now it's got to be the great grandkids got to be running things, right? Or the grandkids. Just crazy. Yeah, didn't expect that, man. But there'll be more documentaries coming out on this one. Somebody will jump on this soon as they get some facts on it, or enough to.
That poker game's worth a movie at least, right?
Yeah, but I think
very sophisticated.
They want to get to
what an operation.
All of this. Jeez, Chauncey Billups. I mean,
what a loser.
Nothing against Rozier, but Chauncey Billups, like, your career is actually. You're really good. What are you doing? You made $100 million before guys were making that.
Coaches make a lot of money.
No, but he made a lot as
of course.
As a player. He was good. Detroit basketball. Chauncey Billups. The man we've got. Yeah, crazy story. That one will get you. By the way, the good news is we got a lot of good stuff going on. We got a lot of good stuff going on this weekend. First of all, the Canes tomorrow night have Stanford at home to try to get some things fixed. We'll have Don Bailey Jr. He'll join us. We'll talk a little bit about some things he'd like to see. Obviously, take care of the football would be number one before anything else, the penalties and the run game. You'd love to see your quarterback take care of the ball and not have that again. and not try to force the ball deep. Just throw it short. It's okay. Short passes are okay. And then on top of that, Panthers got a fun one Saturday night with the Golden Knights. So they're in town after last night's tough loss. Gonna be rough, man. Gonna be rough without those two, man. It is just gonna be really, really difficult without Kachuk and Barkov for a while. Just that's a lot of firepower and talent, and two of the best players in the NHL not to be on your roster. One's out for the season. Hopefully one's back in December for your team. The Messi extension through 2028 for Miami Freedom Park and that new statue. Don't you put that Messi, hey, to the family out, the Moss family. Hey, put that while you're doing it. Spend a few extra bucks. Have the ceremony. Get the statue up before he's done. While he's still playing.
You can't do it while he's playing.
Yeah, you do.
While he's playing?
Yes.
I don't think it works that way.
Yeah, well, you do. This one you do.
This one you do? Okay. You're just in a rush to get that thing built.
It's not very often that you have a situation, arguably, because everybody's always going to have their favorite, in any sport, favorite player. A lot of people believe Messi's the greatest player of all time. And by the way, what he's doing at 38 in the MLS, he is just chewing this. He's the MVP. He's the best player. Hell, even when he misses games, he comes back, he scores so much. So they open up the playoffs in Fort Lauderdale tomorrow against Nashville, best of 3 series. Excuse me, I keep saying tomorrow night. It's Friday night. It's tonight. Jesus, Joe. Stop.
Don't short us on the weekend.
No.
I
I already got too much going on there.
What we got coming up in about a half an hour from now? We're getting your picks.
Oh, God.
What a day to get your gambling picks.
I'm not. I'm thinking about not doing it.
You're going to pass?
I think I'm going to pass on it. I'm going to pass on games this week. I seriously, I don't feel like doing it.
I mean, it's not your decision to make, but.
Oh, you don't have much of a say, honestly.
You have to give your picks. You have to give your picks. We got your season record going.
I don't care.
You've made a lot of people a lot of money.
No, I haven't. I've had a rough couple.
You're plus 500.
You had an over 500 week again last week, Joe.
You're on fire, bro.
Now you guys trying to.
I don't know where you're getting your information from, but you're on fire.
See, that's it.
Sorry.
Why do you think that's funny?
It's not. That's not.
I told
funny.
you. They don't want anybody who works over at Miami Dolphins at Hard Rock App. They don't want them over at that facility. You can go there and eat. You can play the slot machines. In fairness to
the Dolphins, though, you're always wrong about them. Always.
What do you write about, Jerky?
You said they were going to win. You took them on the money line last week.
I did. Never again, though. Won't do it again.
Lost by 30.
I know. 25. I know, Woody. It's still 4 scores. I know that I can do the math.
And I'm sure you're going to take them this week. Was it 7.5?
Not touching that. Not touching that game.
That has blowout written all over it.
Yeah, it's not.
Maybe they'll shock the world.
I have got to see that team bounce back. Yap during the week. Yap from Sunday after the game. Yap Monday. Yap Tuesday. Yap. It doesn't mean anything. We looked each other in the eye. We had a great week of practice. We had meetings, private meetings. Tua and Mike had private meetings twice. Okay. Your fan base just wants to see it. Everybody that cares about this team just wants to see it. We don't want to hear any more. Because you just lost to a really, really bad football team. And I don't mean lost. You got your butt kicked. So all that stuff sounds good. Hey, we're still playing hard. I agree. Hey, listen, I watch. I agree. Everybody's playing their hardest. So, but you haven't won. And you start to, human nature of athletes. You keep losing. It's here we go again. Here we go again. Oh, man, same problem we've had. Oh, it's back. Oh, shoot. Oh, man, bad third quarter. Oh, boy, here we go again. Coming out the half, can't get anything. Till you break all that stuff, man, and some of your best players make big plays, and the young guys start to get a little bit better. And by the way, before you go to anything, Tua needs to be number one thing that needs to get a lot better than what he's been. He's got to take care of the ball. You can't throw interceptions. Hopefully you can see everybody down the field. That's a weird one, too. That was a strange one. All right, we've got more stuff to get to here. Don Bailey Jr. is going to join us. We'll talk about the Canes coming up here in just a minute. Stay with us. We'll take a quick break.
Hollywood hotline. Shop over 2,000 Toyotas on sale at one location. Toyota of Hollywood on 441 between Hollywood and Sheridan. ToyotaofHollywood.com, Joe.
All right, let's jump right to it. Don Bailey Jr., DBJ, Hurricanes radio analyst, here for WQAM. And DBJ, are you over that one? That one had a little sting for a couple of days. I got a double stinger when I was here Monday morning.
Yeah, you got it coming and going, didn't you, man?
Oh boy. Yeah.
Good news though, Joe. Good news is when Hollywood and all those guys break our chops about the turnover, I guess we got enough ammunition after Saturday and Sunday with the Dolphins. I guess had 4 and the Hurricanes.
By the way, yeah,
receptions.
Right.
Yeah, I mean,
yeah.
that's,
8 will do it between.
you know?
8 will do it between your two teams. That'll almost guarantee you a friggin' loss.
You still had a chance to win. It wasn't that impactful.
He's still trying to. He calls it an old school. He goes, it's so old school to bring up that friggin' turnovers. I'm sick of it. It's never going to get outdated.
Listen, here's the deal, Hollywood. In the NFL, I tried to look up a stat. There's no percentage of win listed in the world for 4 turnovers.
No.
In the NFL, if you have 3,
you
only have a chance at 19% to win.
Yeah.
3. It's only 9, and no number even printed, nothing to find anywhere with all the information available if you throw 4. So, Joe, you're right. An 8 turnover weekend was a tough one for the Canes and the Dolphins.
You know, and the sad part is that there's a chance if Carson just throws 3 and whether they kick the field goal, you know, and go into overtime or they score, which, hey, that could have happened with some of your receivers, but obviously it's over. Hey, how's he bounce back from that? That's the big question now because they need him, man. And look we were afraid of this. At some point, there's not going to be a running game and you're going to have to throw it. That's how I took it while everybody's ripping the running game.
Well, here's how I look at it, Joe, is it's pretty simple. I mean, to me, he proved that he bounced back. That guy never lost his nerve in the football game. He threw 1 pick, he kept playing football. He wasn't made to be playing it exactly the way it was supposed to be played, but he was playing. He threw 2 picks, he didn't shut it down. He threw 3 of them. He didn't shut it down. And if he threw 4 and he got back in, he doesn't shut it down. So I mean, to me, I look at it that he gets it. He understands it better than all of us, and he felt it more than all of us. But the truth is, he doesn't back down, man. And the guy has thrown, 3 picks 3 different times when he was at Georgia, and he just kept coming back, and he won a bunch of football games there. 24-3 there, and had 3 games where he threw 3 picks. So he's been through it. It's let's hope it doesn't happen again. But I don't see him. I think he'll learn from it. I think he'll go back to looking, trusting the progressions and being a check down guy. I think that seems to be the way to win in today's college game, is in every game, really. Check it down and get a first down and keep going.
We are seeing record amounts of check downs in college and especially the pro game right now. Always have that outlet receiver, have a short guy that's always open. And I get everybody wants 20, 25-yard plays, but if you have to throw it underneath and let the guy catch it and run for a first down, it's okay. Running game. I got to ask you about this running game because I've heard there's a lot of offensive coordinators out there that have been telling me we gotta spread it out more. We got to run it wide. We got to get some different guys besides the power backs running between the tackles. What do you see as the biggest? Are they stacking the line defensively now, going, we want to see you have to throw it? What's your take?
Well, the last 2 weeks, Florida State came out with that prescription, and then, of course, Louisville did the same thing. But really what I see as the problem is the penalties are putting Miami, instead of having 2nd and 6, 5, or 4, it's 2nd and 15.
Right.
And I think, you're getting a lot of longer downs than you had when you have that many penalties. I mean, you cannot go into a football game and have the number of penalties at the time that you did. I mean, you take Maui Noah's penalty on the first drive of the game. That's a 15-yard setback.
Yeah.
And it never ended. It never ended. And I think that's a big part of it. And again, I go back to the first month of the season. They ran the football against Notre Dame, the great Notre Dame that lost to Northern Illinois last year, by the way, but also was in the playoffs. And they were able to run the ball there. They're able to get it. They'll get it figured out. And in this game, people forget is that Miami, let's say they want to force the run. Well, you're only going to force it so much, but because you're going to take what that defense gives you, or at least what looks like they're giving you.
Then on top of that, I've heard this week. They got 2 receivers. We got to get more receivers. We got to spread it out more. Got to get some more targets. Get to the ball to the tight end more. We're going to lose them. I've heard all that stuff the last few days.
Well, I think everybody agrees in football to spread it around as much as you can. But if Malachi Toney's open and C.J. Daniels are open, I'm going there first. I don't care who it is on this football team. I mean, Malachi Toney is going to have an All-American season, or has the makings of an All-American season, and don't put the freshman in front of it. Yeah. I mean, C.J. Daniels is a guy that's pushing 3,000 career yards in his catches, and I like to see it spread around too. But you go to the open guy. If you're Carson Beck, I'm not going to try and say, well, he had 3 and he's got 2, and well, let me get this guy a couple himself. No, you throw to the open guy. That's how this deal is. And formations, I think those change week to week. I don't see anything being consistent because people are afraid to be creative. If anything, they'll pare it down and get great at something.
You agree though? I think at every level we see copycat game plans. Something works against you, you pound them with it. One that I heard that surprised me the most, and I know how good Chris Bell is as a receiver. He's a big, strong guy. And the scouting report is he runs a lot of crossing routes. That's his thing, runs a lot, and he ran a lot of crossing routes against the Canes and had success. Were those more mental breakdowns, coverage, poor tackling? What would you as you looked at that, what was the biggest problem?
First of all, let's give Chris Bell some credit. He's a 6'2" guy, and he was 220-something pounds. He was in his 28th or 30th start, something of this, and he's got 100. He had over 100 catches in his career. He's an NFL football player, so you got to give that guy credit. And what do I see? I see that the formationally in that ball game, I don't think Jeff Brom threw everything that you can think of.
Yes, he did.
I mean, you're talking 2 quarterbacks, 3 quarterbacks, 4 times, everything in America you can think of, anything he's ever dreamed of. So I think that also has an effect on what's going on. But communication to me in the secondary and at the linebacker spot is always imperative. And if if they're hitting you with a bunch of new formations and a bunch of new looks, it's going to slow you down. And it did for 2 drives. They recovered after that, Joe, and did a heck of a job. And the other thing about Miami's defense that hasn't been talked about enough is there were 4 interceptions. Louisville did not get a point off of those 4 picks.
That was crazy stat. That was a crazy stat. Yes, it was.
They handled sudden change as good as anybody can handle it, and you gotta give them credit for that.
Yeah. Hey, I'll leave you with this one too. Bouncing back now with Stanford, who got an upset win. What a wild finish that was, a Florida State game out there. So they're coming in with a little confidence. I just think this one is one to really get a back and start feeling good about yourself before you head to Texas. You agree?
Yeah, yes, 100%. I mean, you've got to come through the smoke and in your warm-ups, and you've got to be at a high level, because you cannot go through this football game and think that for one play that Stanford's going to lay down. They pursue the football defensively as good as anybody I've seen on tape this year. Do they get there as fast as everybody? No, but their angles are right.
They're smart kids. Those kids they're smart kids out there.
Well, that's right. I mean, what is it? Fear the tree? I don't know what. So you were raised on all that stuff, but they're a good football team. They're well coached, and you turn it over 4 times again, and you'll have a long day at the office.
Hey, man. Hey, DVJ, even on Sunday, we're throwing picks, and I'm thinking of you, man. I'm going DVJ, and I'm the only one. Now, all the old school guys, we all agree on the same thing. Like, there's one stat that stands out from all the rest. And penalties are terrible, don't get me wrong, and being terrible on third down defense or offense is horrible, right? But those turnovers, those fumbles, and those interceptions, they are killers, man. They're the number 1 killer in football. Oh, my God.
It just deflates you. You know what I mean? There's no way to get around it. No way.
Woody's getting sick to his stomach. I don't know what he's going to say to you when he sees you. This is just killing him. Old school stuff. Anyway,
Hey,
DB,
Joe, you know what?
Yeah, go ahead.
I'm waiting for him to say one thing. You and Joe might be right. He won't give us full credit, but he might give us a mic.
That's not going to happen.
No, that's not going to happen. He's a stubborn dude. DBJ, have a good one, man. Can't wait.
All right, buddy. Have a great day.
All right. Don Bailey Jr., Hurricanes radio analyst, joining us this morning. Talk about, before we jump in 9 o'clock hour, about this Canes game tomorrow night. By the way, we got more NFL stuff coming up. Mike Florio from Pro Football Talk will join us. We'll talk to Mike about the gambling stuff. I know he's been concerned about gambling. Saw it coming. Kind of jumped out in front that the problems that could follow. And boy, the basketball is seeing it right now. Atlantic Men's Clinic is going to see you get rid of ED and low T. And if you're going through it like Joe Rose did, full blown, ugly, terrible. Oh, it was awful. Tired. Man, I knew so. I mean, it got real bad. When you start like going for extra physicals and doc goes, I've already told you you're fine. So something's not right. I'm tired. Well, you're getting older, Joe. I'm like, oh man, but I'm like tired all the time. Wife says I'm getting moody and snappy, and now I got ED and nothing's happening in the bedroom. I mean, it's bad. Everything's bad right now. I went to Atlantic Men's Clinic, not understanding it happens to every guy out there. Some guys in their 40s, some guys in their 50s, some guys in their 60s. And they explained, like, hey, we got good news and bad news. I did the testing, did the PSA test. They said, you got it. You got low T and ED. You got it. I get it. But, hey, don't worry about it. We can fix it. This is what we do at Atlantic Men's Clinic. We do it better than anybody else in South Florida. We do it better than anybody in the country. Atlantic Men's Clinic works, and I mean quickly. The number one question I get, how quickly will this program work? And I get it when guys, I can read between the lines. You will notice a difference real fast if you get on the program, because these guys are professional. They put a program that's specifically made for you. We got 7 locations in South Florida to serve you, including one in Hollywood now. Call them today, 877-455-7300. Set up that first appointment. It's the most important one, and you're going to get great results. I'm telling you firsthand. Visit AtlanticMen'sClinic.com.
brought to you by Doral Kia, home of the price. See our lowest price. Visit us at Doral Kia or DoralKia.com. Starting with the Panthers, who fell to the Penguins by a final of 5-3. Next up, the Cats will host Vegas tomorrow night. Over to the Heat. It will be in Memphis tonight. Tip-off is at 8, and the game can be heard right here on WQAM. To the Canes, who will look to bounce back from their first loss of the season when they host Stanford tomorrow night. Kickoff is at 7 from Hard Rock, and the game can be heard here on WQAM with our countdown to kickoff beginning at 3. In the NFL, Week 8 began with the Chargers beating the Vikings 37-10. On Sunday, the Dolphins will head to Atlanta. To enter Miami, will open up the playoffs tonight at home against Nashville. Kickoff from Chase Stadium is at 8. And yesterday, Messi signed a contract extension to stay in Miami through 2028. And in baseball, the Dodgers and Blue Jays will play Game 1 of the World Series tonight. The first pitch is at 8 from Toronto. The Joe Rose Show continues now.
A little taste of some of these big guys coming out and hitting them. Like, all right, you think you're going to run around our guy? How about if you get a little taste of Landon Dickerson coming right down your throat?
The first Ayuk inside touchdown. Samuel leading the way. Ayuk comes inside of him.
All right. Welcome back here. 9 o'clock hour on a Friday. Hope everybody out there has got some plans and enjoy yourself and get to watch all your favorite sports. And if your team loses, don't get bummed out, man. Bummed out a little bit, but not too much. We get set for a big weekend of college and pro football. Woody, what do you have?
Ready to give your big picks of the week, Joe?
Go ahead.
All right. Thank you for taking part in this today. I know this is a little dicey here. All right. This gets me here. Indiana plays at noon. I think this must be the big noon game for them. They are 7-0. They're playing a feisty UCLA team. Indiana is favored by 25.5 games in Bloomington. Does UCLA pull another big upset here?
No, they're not pulling an upset.
Okay.
Question is how many? I hate those big spreads.
I know you do.
I hate them. That's 4 scores. You know what?
Stay loyal to your
Mendoza.
side of the country
I'm staying with my guy. No, that's not that's the wrong part of the state. I'm going with Mendoza and Indiana. Big game. Gets a little closer being the first overall pick in the draft and winning the Heisman.
All right, let's rock it through these here. Number 13, Oklahoma, hosting number 8, Ole Miss, noon from Norman, Oklahoma. Oklahoma's favored by 5.5.
Ole Miss pulls the upset.
All right, perhaps the biggest game Saturday. Memphis hosting number 18, South Florida. Bulls are favored by 6.
They've been really good. They're around pretty good down here.
The SEC, number 10, Vanderbilt, hosting number 15, Missouri. Vanderbilt favored by.
Oh, man, I don't know enough about that game. I'm just going to go wildly with Missouri.
You can pass. You're welcome to pass.
I can't pass.
Yeah, okay. You want to lose people money just on a whim here.
No, pass.
All right. And we got number 9, Miami, hosting Stanford, 7 o'clock.
How about
right here
spread?
On WQAM? It is 29.5. I will tell you, I did an interview yesterday, Stanford Radio. They didn't ooze confidence. What that does for you.
29 points.
It's a lot of points, bro.
That's 4 touchdowns.
That's a massive blowout, yes.
And a 2-point. Oh, God.
Stanford, by the way, coming off a win over crappy FSU. I don't know. Tough call here.
I'm going to take Stanford points.
Okay. That's fair by that. That is a lot of touchdowns to win by.
I hate those spreads.
All right, let's jump into the NFL here. 1 o'clock games. Bengals and Jets from Cincinnati. Cincinnati favored by 6.5.
All day Cincinnati.
Pats and Browns. New England favored by 7.5 from Foxborough.
Pats big.
This is an interesting one here. The Giants are heading to Philly. Philly favored by 7.5. Giants are like the hot team now. I know they had a rough one last week. Well, comeback situation. Can they pull the upset here?
I'm taking Philly. Eagles are now going to start getting serious about this.
Bills heading to Charlotte to play the Panthers. Buffalo minus 7.5.
Oh, I know the game plan. Bills now have to look at the same game plan everybody does to us against the run.
Yeah.
Oh, man. I'm going to go Bills.
Ravens and Bears from Baltimore. Lamar might be making his return here. Baltimore minus 6.5.
If Lamar's playing, I'm going to take Baltimore.
In spreads that don't make a whole lot of sense here, we got the Texans hosting the 49ers. Texans are 2-4. The Niners are 5-2. Houston is favored by 2.5 points.
The game's at Houston?
It is in Houston, but it's an indoor stadium. I don't know. Shouldn't matter all that much, but
I'm going to take Houston.
Really? Okay.
I just look at that roster. I don't know how they're doing it.
It's a strange spread there. I'm with you kind of on that one. All right.
Max is good, if not better than the starter.
The Bucs are heading to New Orleans. Baker Mayfield, not a huge fan of the Saints here. Saints are 1-6. Tampa Bay coming off a loss, -4.5.
Tampa Bay.
Broncos and Cowboys, Joe. This is a very strange game. Remember the Broncos were supposed to have that great defense?
Yeah.
The total on this game is 50.5. One of the highest totals of the weekend. Again, the game is in Denver. Denver favored by 3.5.
I'm taking Denver.
You want to take a pass on Colts and Titans? That's your big spread of the weekend here.
Yeah.
14.5.
That's maybe one of the 2 or 3. Well, it is one of the 2 or 3 best teams and one of the 2 or 3 worst.
Yeah.
I'll pass.
Sunday night, Steelers and Packers.
Oh, that's a good one.
From Pittsburgh. Green Bay favored by 2.5.
I'm going to take Packers.
All right, and our final one here, 1 o'clock. Mercedes-Benz Stadium in Atlanta, Georgia. The Falcons at 3-3. They're 2-1 at home. Hosting the 1-6 Miami Dolphins.
7.5 point favorite.
7.5 point favorites. Total 44.5. Bijan Robinson, his rushing total is at 203 yards. What do you think?
No, it's not.
I know.
What is it, 90? I think it's 90.
Whatever it is.
Last time you took the Dolphins on the spread, they did cover.
That's true. That is true. Don't do it, dude.
They broke my heart last week.
Whatever. I honestly hope you take the Dolphins because I'll just fade you on this one. But
7.5. Can I get a few more?
Yeah, you could tease it. You'd have to put a little more of your hard-earned money up, but yeah, you can move that
Well,
line.
just make believe because I don't bet on these.
You want to move the line?
You're trying to get me fired from everything here.
You want to move the line?
I don't want to touch this game. This is.
Well, what do you want to move it to? You feel comfortable at 8.5?
I want to move it till the end of the year. Can we play it later? Can we play this one later? All right, I'll take.
How about this? Tua, over under interceptions. His number's at 1. Does he throw 1 in this game?
Yes.
Seems like a lock at this point, doesn't it?
I'd rather touch that than.
Oh,
I had no idea.
He has trouble seeing.
This thing's not
Can't
pretty.
see over the O-line, so that kind of helps your confidence in the bet, right?
That's why he gets rid of it quickly.
So you're staying away from the Dolphins game
I'm
here.
touching it.
You don't even want to.
Nope.
You're so broken, you don't even want to do it.
Nope.
All right.
You tried to get me to take them too. I'm just going to take.
I don't want you to take. I think the Falcons are going to destroy them.
Which Falcons team showing up?
Any Falcons team? Whatever. Practice squad. The backup. As long as the bus makes it.
You're beautiful.
I don't know how they arrive. Do they go direct to the games? They take a bus? I don't know. Whatever it is they do.
Yeah.
As long as they make it.
Our guys might walk over. We're going to show our toughness. We're going to walk to that friggin' game. All right. Hey, listen, we got Mike Florio going to join us. I ain't touching that thing. Yeah, man. Not even touching it. Bo, what do you want to do? Bo says he's not touching. All right. Hey, I want to talk to you about my good friend, Michael Kotze at Choice Mortgage. He has an amazing offer. It's called the Hometown Heroes Program. He's helping first responders such as law enforcement, healthcare professionals, educators, firefighters, and military vets with up to $35,000 in closing costs and down payment assistance with low fixed rates and no prepaid penalties. Give Michael a call if this sounds good to you, something you've been looking at. Call him on his cell phone. Call or text him, actually. 561-441-2730. That's 561-441-2730. Hey, learn more about the Hometown Heroes program, and while you're at it, go to Google reviews on the web. Choice Mortgage Reviews. Find out what they're saying about Michael Kotze. It's about getting your mortgage quickly and getting you the best rates in the business right now. Fixed rates in the 5s. Hey, no matter what you're going through, you can call Michael Kotze at Choice Mortgage. His 30 years of experience. This man has no life. He's always working 7 days a week. And get a hold of him this weekend. Again, call or text him 561-441-2730, MLS 166254. Rates and terms subject to change, daily without notice. He's an equal housing lender.
Head out to the Toyota of Hollywood hotline. Shop over 2,000 Toyotas on sale at one location. Toyota of Hollywood on 441 between Hollywood and Sheridan. ToyotaofHollywood.com.
All right, thank you, Woody. Mike Florio from Pro Football Talk joins us. And, Mike, you're in my head, man. I can't get you out because this gambling thing years and years ago, you were concerned about this, and the NBA's got themselves a little problem between a Miami Heat player, a head coach on the West Coast, and Damon Jones, who's been a player and an assistant coach and everything, because now everybody's wondering how bad is their problem, and is this in other sports going on as well?
It's funny, Joe, yesterday during the press conference, one of the officials reciting the various charges said this reads like a Hollywood movie. I said, yes, and I'm trying to sell it right now for crying out loud. Hey, here's an example for you.
That's funny.
Here's an example. Bijan Robinson, Falcons running back, Week 7, 2023. Sunday morning, wakes up with a migraine. Ultimately, doesn't play nearly as much as he otherwise would. The fantasy football crowd loses their mind because he was the darling of that group at the time because he was a rookie and he was perceived as being a potentially great player. The Falcons eventually were investigated by the league. There were fines issued because they didn't update their injury report to disclose that he had an illness. And there was never a word uttered. There was never a peep about the question of who knew that his availability was going to be limited during the game. Who knew that he was likely to hit his unders? The inside information is prevalent. It's rampant. And when you read through the details of the Terry Rozier and Damon Jones, and there are so many people who know what's going on within a given team. They're privy to the chatter and the conversation, the discussion. And how difficult is it to pick up your phone and text someone? Whether you're the guy who's injured or air quotes injured, whether you're somebody who knows him, whether you're somebody who just happens to be wandering by. I had a coach tell me years ago, hey, I got 15 plays scripted on a whiteboard. Somebody comes in to empty the garbage and they look up and see it. What do they do with that? How do I control that? There's so much inside information. Material non-public information is what they call it in the stock trade. And it's insider trading. And that's what Cash Patel said yesterday. This is the insider trading scandal for the NBA. And the NFL's may have already happened. That's the other side of it too, Joe. When a league finds out about it, do they tell the world or do they get out the broom? What did the NBA do when it found out about it? It tried to get out the broom. It cleared Terry Rozier. And but for this indictment, we'd have never known that there was anything untoward about it.
The thing about this inside info, there's no way to stop it. Whether a guy's a friend, an announcer that travels with the team, that's with the guy all the time, and he gives him information, and some guy, and he goes, oh, yeah, by the way, quarterback who's a good friend of mine has hurt his arm. He can hardly throw, but he's going to play. I don't like it. They don't have a running game. They're in big trouble. All right? Yeah, everybody's.
Hey, Joe, that's the premise of this novel that I put out a couple of months ago called Big Shield. It's a third-string quarterback who, among other things, the Saturday night before every game, he calls up and does a full download of who's injured, who's not injured, what the game plan is, what the defense is going to do, what the offense is going to do, provides all that information, and then during the game provides information on a play-by-play basis as to whether the next play is going to be a run or a pass. There is so much out there. And once you cross that ethical line of, you know what, I'm going to do it. And how hard is it for a player to convince himself that I'm going to get a little for me? Look at how much the sport is getting straight from DraftKings and FanDuel. I'm going to get a little for me. And who's the victim here? Oh, the sports books are the victims. Well, they always have the inside information. They know everything. The bets ultimately, and I don't want to say they're rigged in a pejorative way, but the whole thing is set up so they take in a hell of a lot more money than they pay out.
Yeah.
The first time I walked into a casino when I was 20 years old, I looked around and it's like, well, I know where this money came from.
Yeah.
So, God forbid that somebody have an edge on the sports book. They always have an edge on us. God forbid we have an edge on them. But that's part of the justification process for the athletes. Hey, they always have the edge. What's wrong with a handful of people having an edge on them for a change?
Yeah. Man, it's a crazy one, and we could talk about all day. Hey, so I got to ask, the trade deadline's coming up here. We're not too far away now, a week from this Tuesday. I think it's going to be really busy. What are your thoughts on that and some of the bad teams looking to get draft picks and some of the real good teams that think they got a chance at getting to a Super Bowl trying to grab some players?
Well, it's funny, Joe. A couple of weeks ago, both networks, NFL Network and ESPN, had as one of their Sunday Splash reports a term that Sean Payton coined disparagingly several years ago. But it was, hey, there's been some trades and there may be more. Gee, thank you. Thanks. Thanks for that. Pulitzer time. And here is the reality. There are still 2 weekends of football left to be played. There's still more hay to go in the barn or out of the barn. You may not be a seller until you lose the next 2 games. You may not be a buyer until you win the next 2 games. You may currently be right in the middle, and it can go either way based on the next 2 games. Look at the Bengals. There was talk about trading Trey Hendrickson a week and a half ago. Oh, they beat the Steelers. Well, if they beat the Jets the way they should and they win another game, they're going to be 5-4. Maybe they're buyers at the deadline. So much of it comes down to these next 2 weeks. And, they moved it back a week a couple of years ago. The Browns proposed it and the league agreed once they added an extra game to the regular season. The later it is, the easier it is for the buyers and the sellers to declare themselves, because you need one of each for any trade to happen.
Mike, I got to ask you, as you know, and you guys have been talking about on your shows, the Dolphins at 1-6 and losing the way they did to the Browns. How much longer do you think this? And we have no idea. We just get the same reports. NFL Network says Mike really likes everybody and wants to give them a chance to try to turn this around. What do you think happens if more of what happened last week continues?
Well, the question becomes, what does the boss want? And this is the guy who allegedly offered $100,000 per loss to Brian Flores in 2019. Once the tank for Tua pivoted to, I don't know, blow for Burrow. I don't know what we would call it. Sorry. I don't know if that violates FCC regulations.
No, we don't have any rules here. You're fine.
But he wanted Joe Burrow. Stephen Ross was desperate to get in position to get Joe Burrow. Remember, the Dolphins were trying to trade up with the Bengals, and the Bengals kept hanging up the phone with them. But if you make the decision, and the NFL doesn't like people to notice this obvious connection between being really bad during the season and having a really great draft pick, and we talk about tanking all the time. But once you accept that, you know what, we're willing to do this. What's the difference between 1-16 and 2-15 or 3-14? Like, if you're bad, you're bad. It doesn't matter. Nobody's going to remember what your record was. So I think that if Stephen Ross has come to terms with the fact that it's just a lost season, why make some change that's going to spark artificially an increase in the performance and win games that is just going to make it harder to get the highest possible draft pick? So it all comes down to what he wants. Does he want the number 1 overall pick next year? It's not like there's a clear-cut, no-brainer guy, but that would explain staying the course, because right now the course is leading him toward possibly the first overall pick, although he's going to have some competition between the Titans and the Jets. Who knows? It's much easier to pick out the bad teams this year than it is to pick out the good teams, and you may have to work really hard to earn that number 1 overall pick this year.
See, the other thought on that is, as long as you have your head coach and GM in place, they're going to try to win every game possible to show, hey, look how much better we played in the second half of the season. And I told you we could turn it around. And we've learned not only to be competitive, but we've got some wins. And that's
but if you tell them that it's over, if you tell them behind the scenes it's over when the season ends, that changes the vibe. Yeah. If they know it's coming, that changes the vibe. And the other side of it too, Joe, and the owners have real sway in this, and this is how the tanking happens, because people will like, there's this knee-jerk reaction, oh, nobody ever tanks, nobody's going to go try to lose. Well, but when the owner says, I want to see what the third-string quarterback can do, right? That third-string quarterback's going to go try to win, but he's the third-string quarterback for a reason. We want to evaluate our young secondary and see how they can perform. And they perform the way they would because they're a young secondary, and that helps fuel the effort to tank. Now, there are people who firmly believe you should never do it. Once you introduce that culture, you can never get it out. But dysfunctional teams do dysfunctional things. And it wouldn't surprise me if Stephen Ross has decided, I'm just going to let this play out because it may play out in a way that gives me the first overall pick that I can use to lure the best possible GM and head coach next year.
You see any situation, honestly, that knowing the money situation and the GM and head coach going all in on Tua, that they'd ever bench him before the end of the year? We saw the third guy or the backup play last week, Ewers, and it was a little rough obviously, because he hasn't played.
Well, I was surprised when Mike McDaniel, in discussing what his message to Tua would be after the loss to the Browns, I was surprised when he said everything is on the table. That opened the door for the question the next day. And it was almost like asked apologetically, but like, dude, McDaniel said everything is on the table. So we got to find out. Now that you've looked at the film, are you going to bench this guy? But that becomes part of, look, this is what separates the dysfunctional from the functional.
Right.
The dysfunctional team will continue to keep a guy on the field to justify the contract that he was given. They won't say, you know what, he's not playing well enough. This is a results-driven business. This is big boy football. You're benched. They won't do that. And so we'll find out. You know, if they stubbornly keep Tua out there because of the financial investment, then we see exactly. He made the comment this week that he didn't get the ball to Jalen Waddle because he has a hard time seeing him. It's like, I keep going back to that. Why did they give him the contract they gave him? Joe, I've done the math. They could have gone year to year under the franchise tag for 2 years. They go 5th-year option, franchise tag, franchise tag. If they would have done that, it would have been like $110 million. They gave him $150 million fully guaranteed for 3 years. They owe him $54 million fully guaranteed next year. This is one of the worst contracts. You know, but for the Deshaun Watson deal, it's one of the worst contracts of the decade. Why did they do it? That's the question I'd have if I was Stephen Ross. For Chris Greer or whoever thought this was a good idea to not just go year to year with Tua at a time when we weren't sure what he was going to become, they locked into a $150 million financial commitment. That is malpractice by anyone whose fingerprints is on that deal.
Can I just follow this up? Because I said something when I heard those comments. I thought they were fake comments. I thought somebody put it when I heard about it at home. Everybody was calling me. I couldn't believe he said those comments. Well, I'm short and I couldn't see over the top, so I couldn't get Waddle the ball. That's why he had one catch for Mike. You listen to everybody's press con. We don't hear that very often from a quarterback 5'8" to a quarterback 6'5". Those comments never come up. Was that a little shocking to hear that?
Oh, I was surprised, and I haven't written about it yet because it kind of slipped through the cracks on us with everything else going on. But I'm going to have to revisit it and maybe write about it because he's been a little too candid lately. And I think one of the most important jobs when you're one of the faces of the franchise is to have a good filter as to what you say out loud and what you don't, and to have the awareness as to how your words are going to land. And clearly, from what happened 12 days ago when he said what he said after whatever that loss
he's on
was.
a roll.
I can't remember what loss it was. But, that was the Chargers loss. Yeah, I mean, that just – it's not good. It's not good. And, hey, the bottom line is he's very well compensated. And good job by his agents at Athletes First to get him that contract. We had reporting at the time that Athletes First was playing the Dolphins against the Packers as they were trying to negotiate for both Tua and Jordan Love, and it got both of them maximum contracts. But there's a price to be paid on the back end of doing a bad deal, and the Dolphins are paying it, and they're going to be paying $54 million next year no matter what, unless they trade him and pay a big chunk of it or cut him and somebody pays him the minimum. They're not going to save much of that $54 million at the end of the day.
Yeah, no, it's a crazy one. Hey, Mike, as always, man, thank you so much for coming on this morning. I appreciate it. Have a great weekend.
Thanks, Joe. See you, buddy.
All right, Mike Florio from Pro Football Talk. Hey, we've got a lot more to get to. Speaking of the gambling, David Weinstein will join us, and we'll talk about what the three NBA guys, Terry Rozier, Chauncey Billups, and Damon Jones, might be looking at with the federal government. That's coming up next.
I'm David Mitchell.